Yes.
Last week, huh?
Conspiracy Horsemen are back. That's right. Twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen. If you're here, you're the first to the dance. Here live on Twitch, the official stream. First exclusive 24 hours, infidels. We'll let a couple people get on, load up that chat room, get things going, because tonight we've got a big show discussing some of the hottest topics in the mainstream news that never should be there. So it's going to be real interesting. Strap in. Stevie Cool, Big Sal, Greek God Papadon, Bin Hameen, here we are. And yes, infidels, that's right. Y'all, you're back for the Conspiracy Horsemen. We're doing nothing but great shows, infidels, and tonight's going to be a banger out here because the better you seem, the more lies you tell, and the more lies you sell. And by surprise, you fell into my death trap, right into my clutches, stupid. You know that God must bless every mic he touches. And y'all, we've got new mics all around here. The audio's picking up. It doesn't matter if you're on the iPhone X. We've got dual inputs on that, baby. And we've got the new Darth Vader mic tonight. And it's Hacker Hameen live from the studio. And Big Sal can do no wrong, infidels. So hear us now. It's QAnon. We're breaking down all of the secret code so you can be the smartest person this weekend at your dinner party and freaking everyone out with all of the inside intel. And that's right, the UFO disclosure. We're bringing it back because no one gives a good goddamn about Oprah Winfrey's big fat ass. We're going to talk about what's really important out there, and that's the alien invasion. So sit back, infidels, for the latest episode of the Conspiracy Horsemen. YOLO! Yo, I know you like that one, Big Sally. I saw you popping them.
That was a good one, man.
I was on it with some Gangstar. I needed some decent hip hop, man. And the one I'm going to cut in the beginning here, if you guys are wondering
Stevie,
who that was,
hold on.
go ahead,
Stevie,
brother.
Gangstar's a rapper. Just so you know.
He's dead though. He's a dead guy. So.
I know.
Is he almost as good as Enzo?
Oh shit. Jesus. And actually, heat on Billy Ray Valentine because he put that Enzo rap on the Wednesday version of the Locker Room in the Go Home, and it instantly got me pissed off after a good show. It's so bad. But the rapper who is better than Enzo is my boy Sean Recchio, Rated R Superstar from the Grind Mode Cypher. That's what I opened the show with. Some good wrestling raps. You know, I watch Raw with him at my referee Sideburns place. That's my wrestling clique on Monday nights to help suffer through. But definitely check out Sean Recchio, Rated R. Did the 2CW anthem. He's got, I think, 14 or 15 mixtape albums now. He can do hardcore murder rap, that old school Brooklyn style, but an incredible MC and highly underrated. So get up on some Rated R, you guys. But yeah, it's going to be a cool show tonight. We got mailbag to get through. This QAnon stuff, you know, just kind of became a buzzword. We're going to try and break it down as, you know, worker terms as best we can and talk about some of the stooge report that they're putting out there. And just did the Infinite Fringe with Jan. What was his last name? Do you remember, Stevie?
Brady.
Jan Brady,
yes.
from MUFON, one of the heads of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and it was a really cool show. If you haven't catch that one yet on Infinite Fringe, you can get it at hackerhameen.podbean.com. But Stevie was kind of saying something that really got me a little hot there. We're so much into celebrities and we're getting so much news. Fucking UFOs got stooged off as legit in the last 2 weeks, and we're already past it. And there's no way we're getting past it because this is what we should be focusing on. So I'm interested to hear my brother's positions on this tonight, but I'll set it off. Greek God Papadon, live from New York City, getting busy. What's going on, man?
Just hanging low, watching the skies. Hopefully catch a UFO. And just loving what's coming out on the internet. You know, with this QAnon situation going on, all the information coming out, it's so fast-paced. You can't even keep up with it because, you know, 1 minute you hear one thing and you're amazed, and then 5 minutes later something else drops, and it's all leading to one big one big payoff, blow-off match at the end, and hopefully all those pieces of shits that are involved in this child trafficking and all this stuff, they all get locked up and crucified. like my boy Ben Hamin says.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. And there's a couple stories this week to kind of touch on that as well. You know, not literally touch on it, but some more of them are falling. So you know, let it keep going in every direction. And it's so much for us to cover that we like to, you know, dip back into the old classic conspiracies. But this stuff that's rolling out in real time is unbelievable, man. To really even be able to absorb it as a conspiracy theorist or someone who's a truth seeker, it's just it's like your birthday every day and Christmas all rolled into one, man.
Actually, we always talk about how the news cycles are within a 24-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
This is like fast forward. This is what you and Stevie Wish could do during Raw and SmackDown. Watch out, fast forward.
You have no
Times
idea.
3.
Boy, I'm telling you what, and I might have to put heat on Russo, because if we're having to sit through it like some Guantanamo Bay torture, I feel like he should have to. I don't care if he what he wrote or what era or who he wrote for. If I'm putting in 5 hours, he's got to put in at least 3. And there's a big 5-hour Raw coming up, the 25th anniversary. Oh my
They all feel like 5 hours.
I was gonna say. Oh,
So,
Jesus.
but right now, Big Salala, my guy over there. How's it going, man? How's Shemp doing? And you know, I'm
Doing
glad,
good.
glad you
He's
made it
full
back.
recovery. He's doing
Well-
all right. I got a question. When I didn't hear the Infinite Fringe show, did the MUFON guys get hot when you mentioned Bigelow's name?
Well, I didn't say Bigelow. I said, yeah, I got a $5 face slap. I'll go over to Skinwalker Ranch and do some regulating if you need me. And you could hear him pop under his breath a little bit, man. So I didn't
I
want
was
to
gonna
come
say, they still have a little sore spot with the Bigelow shit. So,
So
I'll have to check that out. Like, it really feels like it was one of those things like you used to do back in the day when you got like a bad report card. Come home, you'd be like, oh, well, I mowed the lawn for you. I painted the garage, raked the leaves, and I got to deal with math. And then, and then this other stuff happened, Dad. So I'm going to go inside my room. And, all right. And he'd give you the wave off, and then it would take a little bit. And hang on a sec. What'd you get, man? What happened to that? And then that's what I feel like happened.
yeah,
Because all this bullshit went on, and, oh, my God, Oprah's going to be president. And everybody fucking jammed their hand up their ass. And then we missed this entire cycle.
Yeah,
Stuff that nobody decided to put on the air.
So much huge, events going on, colossal events. And again, the libs paint themselves into a corner with some yellow journalism with a expose aha gotcha book on Trump from this guy Wolf, and it turns out to be a whole another big pile of shit sandwich for them to eat.
Yeah.
And they just slink back and they don't point their finger at themselves again, and we fucking pop for some easily worked bullshit without checking any facts whatsoever. And even
not a lick.
Nope. And then when the facts come out, even from Obama saying this guy's a piece of shit, they're like, oh, I don't know.
Tabloid flunky, and and it turns out like every person they've ever asked, they're like, "Where did you ever see this guy?" And they're like, "No." Oh, wait, no, I did see him once. Once he was hanging around in the White House once.
Yeah,
That's enough for a book.
Yeah, otherwise he couldn't book time. So it was, it would be like asking me to like, oh, so did you ever see the ECW vault? Yeah, I got money from it once, so I'm gonna write a book on it.
Yeah.
I was in the vault all the time.
Al Capone was guarding it down there. It was a good time.
Yeah, well, Geraldo had it.
Pop.
Better off than seeing Al Barone instead of Al Capone. I knew that would get him.
Dramatic.
But yeah, a guy who's still
rest
feeling.
in peace, Al Barone. I miss you, buddy.
Oh yeah,
I miss you, buddy.
He's in Toronto, man. He's doing okay, man. He shaved the mustache, but I'd like to get up there to see Al Barone too. He shaved the mustache. I saw him up there.
He's fucking dead to me. He doesn't exist anymore.
It'd probably take 2 days for him to grow it back, as much of a man as he was. What was us? Shout out Cyber Viking too. As well.
Cyber Viking, baby.
But a guy who's definitely feeling it in the wake of SmackDown and Raw. He's drunk with power, and he's
got wrestling aids.
Yeah, he definitely he feels crippled tonight, but he's got a new mic, so he sounds crystal clear. And that's Dr. Stevie giving himself his own prescription for what ails him. Stevie, what's going on, man?
What the fuck have we gotten ourselves into? And then you hear Russo, bro, I told you. And it's just kind of like one of those things where you're just like, this thing, if you touch this socket, it's going to be a lot of electricity. You're like, well, how much electricity could this little socket really produce? And then you find out that you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I
literally
don't know if
standing
that's
in
a
the
good
shower.
analogy. I just, Sal, we have conspiracy theory on this. And it's starting to become conspiracy fact, because this is 2 weeks in a row on the same days that I watched the show, the full show, and I just feel like, I think it's because we still care and we want things to make sense, a lot like we do with the conspiracy stuff. It's very frustrating. You sort of feel your shoulders come up and your neck tighten and your attention headache sets in. And that's what it was like to watch SmackDown. And then my wife's sitting next to me, which I'm absolutely embarrassed about. And,
it's awful,
and she's
right?
asking these questions. She's asking these questions. And with 27 plus years experience, I don't have a fucking answer for her. Like, why are they doing that? Like, what's that? Well, like, why would they do that? Well, she looks like a man. You can guess who she's talking about. And, you know, she's asking all these questions. And I'm like, this is why the fucking show is 2.7 or 2.5 and dropping quick.
Yeah.
And it just, it visibly, I think, also brings back visceral, I should say, not visible. It brings back visceral memories of what it was like to work there.
Wait a minute.
Don't bring back Viscera.
Yeah, well, he was actually one of the good ones. He was a very nice guy. But I just remember what it was like to work with these fucking scumbags and these phonies and these backstabbers. And I should just be watching it and saying, we're really getting a lot of, you know, to be able to talk with Jeff and Russo. And it's like when we talk, we just kind of, we're just kind of bullshitting and goofing off for an hour or two. We really are. It's a fun show to do, but it's not a fun show to talk about the subject we have to talk about, you know?
Wait a minute. So you watch wrestling with your wife. She didn't watch it growing up in Japan?
No. She wanted to say, what's that?
So your wife didn't watch wrestling growing up in Japan?
She used to date Okada. Not a lot of people know that.
She watched, yeah, she watched Wrestle Kingdom 4. You fuck.
No, but it does feel like a self-help group afterwards, like we're sitting in the basement of some church in an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and trying to one day at a time get through it together. But, you know, it is.
I think I outburied Stephanie this week.
You
called
did?
her the Beast the week before.
Yeah, yep.
I predicted why didn't she use the grappling hook to pull it down on the other three guys and make it a four-way, win at the Rumble and defend the title against herself at WrestleMania, but still enter the Women's Royal Rumble and then defend the title against herself there too. And Russo was like, she can't be. And I said, how dare you? How dare you say that she cannot work 3 matches at WrestleMania, Vince?
It's women's revolution, bro. Women's revolution. She can do whatever she wants.
Dude, I predict 50% of the women are going to get injured.
Yeah.
In some form. They can't even fucking go through the middle rope.
Yeah, I'd like to see her own home video with a finger poke of doom. I'll tell you that much right now. You know.
You're on top. Now you're on top.
Thank you. I had to come back with a high spot on that one. But yeah, man, it was a good time. Burying the show, they're 15 minutes and 5 hours. So if you're on the wrestling side of it, definitely check it out in the realm. Live audio should be dropping tomorrow morning, Thursday, for free. And if you haven't signed up for Russo Brand and you want to become a subscriber, please do. And tell them Big Stevie Cool and Hacker Hameen sent you. It's only going to make us look better. What's up, bud?
I'm sorry. It's like I want to go back to you watching it with your wife. Now, okay, and she's not a wrestling fan.
Not at all.
Okay.
That's what I love.
But wrestling's big in Japan. I don't get it.
But here's the thing. So like,
how about in Puerto Rico, where you come from?
Listen, he can pass as a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It's fast. So
that was clever. That was actually good, Steve.
And you're watching. See, to me, like it's almost mind blowing because, like, again, my wife, nothing with wrestling. She remembers Hulk Hogan. She remembers the '80s cartoon. That's pretty much it. And I know, like, she never watched horror movies. She couldn't take them. So now I know if I'm watching a movie, like a fucked up movie, and she comes in the room,
Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
Well, no, I mean a bad movie. Like,
Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
I mean a bad. Hey, that was just take it easy, man. Pump the brakes. Not everything's a rib, okay? Just saying. God.
Greeks
invented. Worked hard on that.
Greeks invented Puerto Rico. I don't know if you guys knew that.
In its current state, or
no. Back when it was a hot spot.
Sorry, Sal. Go for it.
No. But I'm just saying, like, it was a tangent to nowhere. It was just a point of, I know almost a level of like shame because you're like, how fucked up am I for making you watch this?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make her watch it. She just wanted to sit next to me and spend time with me, which I think is amazing because she must really love me to sit through. I mean, she only lasts for an hour. She doesn't last for the whole show, but she's sitting. Yeah, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, Steve. I got to apologize. You just did. First of all.
Go ahead,
I apologize. From what I recall, she wanted to spend time with you. So you make her sit next to you to watch wrestling. But when the NFL is on, you have her out in the cold doing work. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Yeah. At least the NFL could have been more entertaining.
I stooged him off on Russo about that, too, so he's double buried on that one.
She volunteered to do it. I would have been more than happy. I do the dishes every day. I do housework. And I'm a housewife. Me and Ben are housewives.
Why are you explaining yourself? Nobody asked. You're okay. Yeah. Nobody's giving you heat, buddy.
Well, I'm just running for office. I'm trying to practice. Trying to over-explain bullshit.
You'll never beat Oprah, kid.
So you'll never be office after burying stuff like that.
I'll never do a lot of things to either one of those women. How's that?
No, I think the reason why you got the sniffles and all that is because art is pain. I said that earlier, and it's the fact of not that just the show's bad, but the way we watch things more than any Mark or Smark or any fan with a critical eye is what happens in the ring is what happens. We jump to a place of backstage of how did it get to that point? What decisions were made? What yes men? Who licked boots? Who said yes to the dumbest shit possible? What writer who has no clue and shouldn't even have a job is putting this stuff forward? And why aren't the gates, the gatekeepers saying, no, you're an idiot, this is how things need to go, and rewriting that? All of that's encompassed in a silent breath in under a minute, and that's a lot.
We experienced a 12-hour day in our mind.
Exactly.
Whereas psychic vampires,
in 30 seconds, that rips through our minds, and synapses just can't handle that kind of stress, really, man.
I legitimately had tension migraines Wednesday morning last week, and right after the show when I'm laying down, I cannot stop my head from throbbing. Even though when we're talking about it, I'm having fun. Then when I get to bed, I couldn't even lift today. I did cardio, but I couldn't lift, and I didn't get out of bed. I didn't get out of bed until 7:30.
You were SmackDown drunk.
They smacked him down, that's for sure.
But the conspiracy that Sal came up with before we went on the air was the best. He says that, and I you know what? He says they're trying to direct some signals at me to destroy me. I said, out of all the people that bury the product, they come after me after week one.
Because you'll be the one they'll go, oh, Stevie must have been into some other shit.
Yeah,
must have been all those pills he takes.
I have such a track record. They don't even send me the fucking rehab letter every year. I'm the only one that doesn't. Me and Swinger never get it.
That's why they're hot about it.
Yeah,
they got to get you another way.
Because now they have to have somebody take you off that mass email.
First off, it's Swinger and I. So. Secondly, shout out to TNA for going back to a four-sided ring.
Yeah, shout out to TNA tonight. I saw that, even though they've got
double.
Did
they got Molech. Just repossess the other four sides?
Maybe.
They couldn't afford them anymore.
They got double Molech on the skirts around it. So me and Stevie were ribbing them, and
Stevie and I.
Yeah, me and Stevie too, and
those other two guys.
Yeah, those two marks.
Actually, I saw some good wrestling this week. Some 90s All Japan. It was Bruiser Brody versus Billy Robinson.
I saw you posted that. It was good. Work a headlock for 12 minutes. Front face lock. It was good. But go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to talk about more wrestling that somebody posted was Kamala and George Steele. And literally it was 20 minutes of amazing nothing.
Yeah.
It was the fluff of generations. Guys who never had, and a fan said this, and he was 100% right. Those two between them never had a promo longer than 15, 20 seconds, and these guys held a story together for so long.
That's because they know how to work.
If you would have put it on today, it would flop because people would be bored to tears because there wasn't 1,500 high spots.
Well, I think it would get over because of that, because those guys work character so much. All they had to do was one punch, powder out, and do a big goony face and walk around and work the 10 count, come back in and separate, circle again, and then that was it, man. That's really working the crowd and holding the palm of your hand. So when you do one thing, it actually means something. God damn it!
Do.
But then all the marks had to say was, "Oh, Kamala lost his legs to diabetes." Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no
Did you see
shit,
that?
Sherlock.
Did you see that 20 minutes that you'll never see on wrestling again?
A no-legged Kamala is a better worker than Finn Balor all day, as far as I'm concerned.
I wouldn't go there, bud.
I would.
But,
I just
Are you
did
saying
go
he's
there.
now without his legs, or
Yeah, absolutely. He knows how to do characters still. The other guy doesn't.
I disagree.
Well, it's
By the
all
way,
right that you're wrong.
Uncle Vince, Uncle H, and Aunt Steph, call me. I like the show. Not really, but I do.
Y'all, so let's get into Conspiracy Horseman mailbag. We'll switch gears out of wrestling because I know some people are like, I'm here for conspiracy, not wrestling. Well, it's too bad you got 4 wrestlers. But, I'll put this out there. This actually came to Hacker Hameen before I switch over to the Conspiracy Horseman mailbag. But you can always send us your emails there. Hit me at hackerhameen@gmail.com or conspiracyhorseman@gmail.com. So this one's from C.W. Fortney, I think old school OVW fan here. So I'll get my name drops out of the way quick so I get my question moved to the front of the next Horseman podcast. Ali Vaez is my brother from way back from his hometown in Jaminol, Valencia.
shit.
Yeah, Jaminol Valencia is a good friend now too. I'm no groupie, but I've really enjoyed your mic skills in the ring as well as your podcast, my brother. Praise Hacker Hameen. Well, yeah, a lot of you. How dare the other so-called horsemen interrupt you or ever attempt to talk over you with their feeble attempts at trying to seem superior or even equal to the great Ben Hameen. Hey, I can't disagree with that, bro. May Allah burn their souls.
Demetrius write this email for you? Or
Is he under the desk right now working on his mic?
Yeah, well, he's not a groupie. May Allah burn their souls and raise yours up, brothers. You, sir, are woken. Well, hey, man, I appreciate that, but my Conspiracy Horseman brothers, I wouldn't be nothing without them. I'd just be some asshole on a soapbox yelling into the wind. These guys we back each other up, and,
Now it's 4 assholes on a soapbox.
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze in.
Hey, that's enough for a faction. It makes it believable. But here we go. 3 questions for the Horsemen, time permitting, of course. While conspiracies conspiracies like JFK and 9/11 are the most popular at this moment in time, what is the greatest lie ever passed down to modern day people from the antiquity of all time?
You're not a groupie.
You got to put it over though. I wanted to put this over.
How are we gonna follow that?
C.W. Fortney. The biggest one of all time. I might answer for Poppet on here, and
I know where you're going with this.
Got to say the Federal Reserve with phony ass money, man.
I thought you were going to say religion and God.
Oh well,
that was my
that was going to be my gimmick, but I think if you want to go off, Pop, go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say the biggest conspiracy, the biggest lie in the world. You hit the nail on the head. Is the centralization of banks, where we give people the power to print our money and the ability to print our money, and they charge us for it, and then we can never pay back the interest. And then all the money that we're getting taken out of our paychecks with taxes and all the taxes that we pay go to pay the interest to all these people like the Rothschilds and the Astors and the Rockefellers, and basically they're sitting with more money than the majority of the population of the world, and basically what they're doing is they're trying to take over the world through economics. And
not trying, they have, right?
They basically have. I mean, there's like 3 countries left on this planet without a central bank, right. And it's coincidentally those are the ones that the U.S. are always fighting with: North Korea, China, and Cuba. Now with Cuba, they're trying to babyface with Cuba, so we'll see what happens there. But regardless of the fact, we have a piece of paper with some pictures of dead presidents on it, and people are saying it's worth something when it's not. And we've seen people sell their souls and sell each other out for it. They sell their mothers for it. They stab brothers in the back for it. And it's ridiculous, because at the end of the day, they say money is the root of all evil. The perception of money is the root of all evil, because money, all at the end of the day, is a piece of fucking paper. It's not worth nothing.
Right on. I like the word I like the word antiquity too. We need to start using that more. But go ahead, Big Sal. Go ahead, Stevie.
Go ahead,
Stevie. No, Steve,
and then what I was going to say was Popping On sent something through Facebook message about the Rockefellers, and I didn't know this. I knew about the hemp conspiracy. Then that's why they went to paper and
With Hearst,
you know, marijuana is illegal. That was the origin of that. But I didn't know that that fuel for vehicles or trucks or anything way back in the day, they could have been run off of alcohol, fermented alcohol, which doesn't use any fossil fuels. But the Rockefellers needed to have added in petroleum and all this stuff because of prohibition, because people would quote drink it. So we have to protect the people by adding the petroleum or the oil to it. And it's so crazy that we can't go back to that. We can just use alcohol to fuel the combustion engines. We can take petroleum out of everything.
There are people who are doing that, and like people are looking at them as if they're fringe, like organic nuts. These dudes who are making shit out of corn, and basically they're using moonshine, and they're running their fucking tractors and their trucks, and people are going, "Oh, that's so quaint that you guys do that." Oh, but that's so much of a pain in the ass. I would hate to do that because you can't go anywhere. But isn't there a few people that actually got suicided or even had everything confiscated? There was a guy that ran off of water. Yes.
And they just took
ran
everything.
off of water, and another guy ran a 78 Galaxy, 200 miles on 2 gallons of gas because he had a conversion where it took the fuel and turned it into vapor and made it last far longer. And that guy, you know, actually sold that patent to I think Amco, I'm not sure, to be put in cars, and then they just scrapped it a year later. 3 years later, he gets done up in a fucking weird way as well. So, you know
what other conspiracy? I don't know if it was in that video. I don't remember, but the Rockefellers were behind is women liberation and women equality, and like they were saying, that guy who produced Trading Places, who was friends with the Rockefellers, and then he ended up killing himself. Aaron, what was his name?
Oh, the guy Aaron Russo, who did Freedom of Fashion.
He said it. Yeah, he said that when he was talking to the Rockefellers, his buddy, told him, "Hey, why do you think we were behind the women equality movement? Do you know why?" He goes, "Why? So make equal pay?" He goes, "No, you idiot. So we can tax them." At the end of the day, they were making all the money because they were only taxing half the population.
Yeah.
Now, what happens? Now they tax everybody, you know? And coincidentally, you know, now all this women feminism nonsense that's going on, everyone thinking, you know, it's the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's all a work.
Yeah, they raise their prices so they can hit them again, even if it's on a smaller clip. Big Sal, what's the greatest lie ever told in antiquity, brother?
Religion.
Yeah.
Religion is the biggest work ever, and
Absolutely.
It's all not to throw out every cliche in the book, but it's the cult of personality, man. That's who it was. We got asked that before. Who do you think the first guy to throw a kid down a well was?
Yeah.
First guy who could talk somebody into doing it.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they do. And what you're talking about, the Rockefellers, excuse me, all the other people doing with money. The church also does it with money. Except they get theirs by heavy-handed, you need to donate to show how good of a follower you are. You need to show me how much you love God or any other, whatever guy we're talking about behind me with the big picture. Any guy, you need to show me by showing how dedicated you are. You don't need that money because God's going to take care of you. So you need to send it to us so we can take care of everyone else while God takes care of you. Because I have the fucking phone right up to him. So I can give him a call.
Yeah. And that phone is some kid's genitals.
That's the biggest work.
Yeah, the phone is some kid's genitals right up next to his face.
Little baby Pope dick.
Yeah, right. He's the phone happens to be in baby Jesus's cock, and that's where the Pope talks directly to God through it.
It's
yeah, no.
Well, let's make this clear though. I mean, at least I can speak for Stevie and myself.
Did you say let's lick this clear?
No, I said let's make this clear. Do you have a fucking mind?
Yeah,
play it back. Go ahead.
It's a little weird.
Every time you say play it back, you're absolutely wrong, by the way.
Well, I'm guaranteeing you
this is what he said, make. I'll back him up. That's my tag partner.
Listen, God isn't a work. Religion is a work. So let me just clarify that from my end. I think religion is a work, but I don't feel God is a work. I think God is real.
Organized
religion, yes, is a work.
Let's clarify that.
Well,
yeah, I would agree. I agree with Sal, and I agree with Papa on that. Faith and religion are two different things.
Right.
And to have to leave, God isn't in this specific building that was built up, which I have complete heat with, because one of the things, the meek shall inherit the earth and all this stuff, and you have all these fancy churches with marble altars and They need you. They take up, especially in the Roman Catholic Church, 3 collections. One's for the roof, one's for this, like Papa Don said about his. These guys are driving around in leased cars or new cars or whatever and having jewelry and fancy. I'd rather have the guy come out in jeans and a T-shirt and a pastor be like that and just be in a fucking house or a strip mall with a plain building, knowing that all the money they're really spending is going towards poor people, hungry people, homeless people, stuff like that. The truth is in people's actions and your eye test. If you look at a big fancy church, somebody outside of that beautiful building is not getting the money because you have to put it in that, maintain it, do all that, keep up appearances. Everybody has to look the part. And,
here's an issue I have. If you walk up to a church at 3 a.m, the door is locked. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, Stevie says, big shout out David Koresh. I couldn't agree more. But when it comes to it,
I'll get one more point. One more point this is where I became completely disillusioned with organized religion, because up to that point, raised Catholic, went to church, always felt like I had to go every Saturday or Sunday.
Were you an altar boy?
I was an altar boy. They didn't touch me, so I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?"
No.
Well, so was I, which I don't blame, because I was a fat little kid too.
As was
I.
I.
Touch me.
I took care of myself and everything. I don't know what happened.
That's weird. I didn't get molested, neither did you. So this means you were.
And we became wrestlers so we can get molested mentally and emotionally, right? Yeah, we really fucking.
I wish they would have touched me so I wasn't a wrestler.
Wow.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I was never
touched by
molested by a teacher or anybody, or a priest. So I had to go find the worst possible business for my mental health.
This will make up for it. So, I went into. I wasn't dressed bad. I was like dressed in basically fucking a Dockers and a polo shirt and had just a fucking heavy jacket because it was wintertime. And I walked into this Bible study church because I was like, oh, cool. They have Bible study and it's all based around there rather than just going through the ritual of the Roman Catholic. What? Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead. Nothing. Go ahead.
All right. You're already kind of putting me down.
Never put you down, brother.
What put me off and I turned around and walked out of it was that they had a sign on the door about the dress code. And this is in line, right, what you just said about the 3 a.m. thing.
Yeah, man.
Why are you making anything at all in any part of any church or religion or a faith-based group exclusive, not inclusive? And I walked in there, and my friend who invited me, he looked at me, and I go, hey, I just saw the sign on the door about it. He goes, well, it's okay this time, but you're really going to need to dress better next time. I go, how about this, dude? How about you go fuck yourself? And I tried to try.
I would have pulled my pants down and shat all over that place. We need to play signs at the end of the show now.
Yeah, dude, that's just some dumb old cunt Nancy Brown family trying to stunt for people on a Sunday to show off and say, look at the new dress my daughter's got, all that bullshit. So let me come in.
That's what gives people, atheists like you, Ben, plenty of ammo to say that you're right about religion and about faith.
Of course I'm right. If you didn't hear the first part of this fucking email, I can do no wrong. So, when it comes to it,
I've seen your matches. You can do plenty wrong.
Yeah, no arguments there.
Okay.
Still get booked. Fuck it. And I still steal the show in the second segment. But when it comes to it, I'll hit with a chop block. There is no higher power. There's no bearded man in the sky. You're no more important than a fleas on a dog's ass in the greater scope of things of time, which you think you're so fucking self-important because your mom and dad and your teachers always told you were. You only get 80-something trips around the sun, maybe 90 if you're fucking lucky, and by that time you're shitting in your pants again, so like a little baby, and somebody's got to take care of you and grind your food up for you. So you got to make the most of the time that you have in those 60 years in between when you're a small dumb motherfucker and then the top. Well, yeah, you don't really know shit till you're maybe 20, right? And you've experienced something, and then the last 10 is let me hold on for dear life while my friends are fucking kicking the bucket. So in that 60 years, you got to surround yourself with all the things you love and the people who are going to make the most moments. And there's no
like Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, there's no greater faith than you believing in yourself and believing in raising up those around you to make them believe that they can do the best that they possibly can and making moments that are going to put an imprint on people's lives. The rest of it is all just closet homosexual shit from the Dark Ages that allowed them to not be burned at the stake, and another money grab. Even when you have bishops in the Catholic Church saying they invented heaven or hell, and people still believing in that bullshit because it was handed down to them by their
Clearly, it was
parents.
the Greeks.
Yeah,
Who invented that shit.
Yeah, even them as polytheists, that was them looking to make excuses for, oh, you got fucking shit hammered and banged your dog. Oh, that was the god Bacchus that wanted you to do that, or whatever it was. So, it's all an excuse for lack of human behavior.
I'm down with Bacchus.
Do you the best you can and be the best you can be, because there is no fucking pie in the sky or fire below that you're gonna fucking go to. You're going to be earthworm food at the end of the fucking day, and make the most out of this trip that you can. The rest of it, buying into that bullshit, think of every Sunday that you fucking gave up and every hour that you'll never get back. Listen to some asshole in a robe work you for $10.
Now, wait a minute. So now some asshole in a robe or some dude talking about God for an hour on Sunday, or fucking 4 hours watching fucking Raw.
Or come to an indie show and watch me in a robe saying fucking Ya Allah. That's the exact same shit.
Is any part of this supposed to cheer us up?
Nope.
No, tell us how you really feel, Ben. I mean, come on.
I just did.
This is a dystopian podcast.
What's the biggest truth that most of us take for granted from antiquity? I think I just said it. Make moments. You only get so much time in this shit, and you're not important as you were told that you were, especially if you're a millennial fuckface listening to this podcast. Take this
Rub
as a
your
wake-up
face
call.
off with a fucking cheese grater if you're a millennial cunt.
And
Just take it and rub it right across.
I think we answered that first question.
I think we did. And finally, who's the most popular person of all time ever? I say Julius Caesar, but my slow cousin from Eastern Kentucky says Elvis. Thank you, Ya Allah. P.S. I still have my Infidel Insurgency t-shirt from the early days. Holy fuck. That's an old school one right there. So shout out. I think I've got one upstairs too with us on the back.
Do you want us to give you some time so you can fucking clean up your fucking penis from getting it sucked the entire email?
If you want to, you can take it. But who's the most important person of all time, Sal?
Important? Famous?
Important, famous.
Important.
I guess, as they said, famous, right?
I don't know. You read the email.
Most popular person, so we're all fucking wrong. So eat a dick on that one, too.
No, famous is popularity, dude.
That's a stupid question. Who cares who's popular?
Yeah.
Popularity just falls back into what you just said. Who gives a fuck about any of it?
I got to say, is what I don't give a fuck about, most popular person of all time? Jesus Christ. Still making money today. Fucker's been, he's been dead 2,000 years, and he's still making money every week. Still booked all over the world, doing multiple shots on Sunday.
Go get his T-shirt and not be a groupie for him, you fucking hump.
Wow.
He's got a beard and he wears sandals.
That's right.
So go suck his cock off.
I should be doing that gimmick. Return of Christ gimmick.
You should, dude. Just totally flip it.
You get hit
Do
in
a
the
Jesus
head.
gimmick at TCW or your PW. Yeah.
Fuck
Just bust out a crown of thorns and shit. And
I got to work on the, what is it, Balduvian?
Crown of barbed wire.
The Balduvian levitation that fucking the magicians
Chris
do.
Angle?
Right? Yeah, right. And if I can get myself up off the ground 8 inches and make it look real, they'll fucking just start throwing money at me. Who do you think, Stevie, most popular?
I'd say the same thing. I say Jesus because there's nobody in history that still has any kind of lasting power, good, bad, or indifferent. People know he's pretty much the Hulk Hogan of the last 2,000 years.
I was going to say, maybe Hulk Hogan.
I was going to say, I was right behind Jesus. My second pick, Triple H. That's who I would go with.
Vinnie Mac.
You sound like popping on.
All right, Matt Schaffer, an avid follower. Evening, gentlemen. I'll make it short and sweet so I don't make Papa Don angry. Rather than the Earth being flat or NASA, hey, they're writing this shit, not me. Rather than the Earth being flat or NASA not having the technology, is it possible that we've been blocked from the rest of the universe? That GoPro rocket video of it hitting the ceiling falls more in line with us being blocked from our exiting planet. If we look at how The Simpsons and South Park predict or reveal information, there is an episode where Stan and Randy discover light speed and are visited by aliens. At the conclusion of the episode, it's revealed, too, that the aliens, South Park, and the world lied about space cash. The Earth is then cloaked in a force field cutting off the Earth from the universe. Was something done or did an event take place that cut us off from the rest of the universe? Is this why we can't exit our planet? Thanks for the shout-outs and then keeping me and the other supporters in check at the same time. It warms my heart and makes me laugh. P.S. I also appreciate Stevie's interactions and availability in the Stevie Richard Fitness Hacker Hameen Media Group. That's a mouthful. Much love, Matt Schaffer.
Yeah, that's that other guy about a mouthful. A mouthful of a meme.
He got everybody. He fluffed everybody on there, except you. Don't be hot.
Is he saying that basically the universe Facebook blocked us?
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or in Facebook jail. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Fuck these apes. Boop.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't blame him.
It actually does have some credence that, whatever the shape may be, that rocket hitting and just not exploding or not having any kind of thing being stopped, there could be some kind of, they talk about this space navy or secret space program and that we've had for quite a while. Maybe we do have some sort of shield. Because remember, the ozone was supposed to have tons of holes in it from the 80s, and we were all supposed to have radiation poisoning and burns, and that went away, whether it was work or not. Now you have this rocket, now you have this other stuff, and you also have the International Space Station, which is really, the furthest up, if it even exists, according to Josh Corey. I know there's certain flat earthers don't think that's even real. Right. There's actually, just a side note, that Secure Team 10 video with the green screen of the ISS was really suspect. Yeah. So no matter what it is, Matthew or anybody, this is what we can guarantee, at least in my opinion, that there's something not being told to us. We're being lied in some way by NASA and by the government when it comes to space.
Come on, man. They don't lie.
They are the biggest. They are actually the wrestling promoters of the world and beyond.
And they're even worse at it, really. I mean, that quick video, I don't know if you guys saw, I sent in round 5, where it was what we've talked about already with, we can't get back there, we lost the technology. And then they got the guy in the fucking tape library in the ECW vault. He's like, we don't know where it is. They had to tape over. Some 200,000 tapes got taped over. You fucking
we bicycle around the territories. Yeah. We fucking tape it around. Come on.
We really wanted to see those Doctor Who. We really wanted those tapes back.
Jesus Christ. They're going to fucking show up on RF video someplace. I don't know.
Some alien would hit the rocket, said, "No soup for you." Boom. And that's it.
He'll pretend the aliens said they were 18. LOL.
I was going to say, wait a minute, how old are the aliens? And then they'll definitely be on RF video.
Going across galaxies instead of state lines. That's crazy, man. He's really stepping it up.
Too known
I am 16 million years old. In your Earth years, that is 10. Oh, I need to book you. I need to book you for the show. You want to do a shoot video? What is a shoot video? I'm going to shoot all over you.
Yeah.
Oof.
Strong style.
Allegedly.
Strong style.
Oof.
If you guys don't know what they're talking about out there, they're talking about wrestling promoter Rob Feinstein and his sexual proclivity for younger people. There was pretty much, with the rocket hitting that upper atmosphere where you see it, crazy turbulent, and then almost like it hits pudding and really slows down. And with the predictive programming of South Park and The Simpsons saying, have we been turned off from being able to get out there? I guess it's really a flat earth question and a firmament question. Do we believe? Do we think something's there? Especially if they're telling us that in what we see.
Is he asking? Do we think somebody else put it up, or is it something of ours?
Let me double check here.
He's asking.
What I mean is the shape.
Banned. We're not on the VIP list. We can't get in the club. We can't go into space.
Club because we got blocked. Obviously,
that's it.
We said something.
We can't join the Green Lantern Corps. No humans allowed.
It could be alien technology creating a force field, not letting us be a danger to anybody outside of low Earth orbit, too.
Was something done or did an event take place that cut us off from the rest of the universe? Is that why we can't exit our planet? Did an event take place? I don't know. If you listen to Corey Good and the Gaia stuff, supposedly there's a whole space armada, blocking out the bad aliens of the 7 that we don't normally want to work with or aren't on our system of
why they work stiff.
Yeah, pretty much. They want to come in and conquer, via ass kicking. As far as the ones where we see on Gaia, it's about us raising our frequency and becoming enlightened so we can stop being the douchebag humans that we are, so we can join the Space Federation.
Can never happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Not with Nancy Brown.
Well, we might. I think we have a chance.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be awesome.
You're very optimistic there, Stevie.
Well, that's because he's a plant.
And he has sleeves.
I am. I'm a
Where's the real
disinfo
Stevie
agent.
Richards?
Yeah.
Where's the real Stevie Richards?
The real Stevie Richards, he died at 7:59 last night. He'll be back soon.
Oh shit.
Now you have the shell of a human being to deal with.
Tremendous.
Matt, I don't believe in flat Earth. That firmament video with the rocket is fucking crazy. You know, I wanted to kind of transition in rockets here, and we'll get back to this with QAnon. But the one that they just launched from SpaceX that's supposedly lost in space, and fucking, you know, was carrying a secret payload, which some say is the death ray to fucking North Korea or whatever the fuck it is, and then they just put it over that it's gone, you know what I mean, out of nowhere. And after we had the West Coast launch where Elon Musk tries to rib and fucking say, yeah, it's UFOs from North Korea, and then it happens in Russia 5 days later, and he fucking has to eat a big shit sandwich and doesn't say anything after that, right? And it's illuminating the sky in a way we've never seen any other rocket launch. And then they come back and do this one in real time, and then try and kayfabe saying, we don't know, we lost it, right? No, you're not fucking working anybody. And even Nancy Brown is, you know, like, this just doesn't seem right to me. I don't understand what's going on. You know,
That's a good Nancy Brown impression.
Thank you very much.
Everybody knows
you
it.
You gave Stevie a chubby on that one,
You
dude.
sound like Reagan's granddaughter.
Well,
That's what you sound. Well, you know what's funny is about this? That I think Janet said it from MUFON, the director of MUFON, when we were on the Infinite Fringe. He said there's so much information overload. It makes even us who pay attention to it makes our head spin, where we just can't organize the information enough to even deconstruct it in time, because something else comes up. People aren't meant right now to really hold anybody's feet to the fire.
And that is the greater psyop. They know that. They know they've broken it down since 50s advertising for TV of how long you're, you can watch something, how much you can recall. All this has been broken down in the human psyche, and that's with like Pop said, even not even 24-hour news cycle, fucking hour news cycle can fuck you up with so many things that are just ridiculous to comprehend on any esoteric level. That we just cast things aside and we're like, Oprah, yay, whatever the fuck, right? So what's really important, a space launch carrying a secret payload from an independent contractor, SpaceX, which is really the new NASA. They have every defense contract. NASA is just a fucking shill at this point, taking more tax dollars, not doing anything. SpaceX is doing all the real covert ops. Like, just that statement alone is a fucking ton to ingest, right? Now we have to talk about, is there a firmament and is there this? I don't believe in flat Earth. That video is fucked up with the rocket slowing down, but I think we're out there, and I would lean more to Corey Goode with a secret fucking space navy at this point.
Well, Trump talked about a space fleet.
Yeah.
So he's kind of stooging it off even before this. And we talked about it too. I mean, it's just like this question before, and also on the Infinite Fringe, where it's like we have this disclosure. We have this UFO being chased by a pilot, and the pilot's talking about this amazing maneuverability. And it's not exciting. Like sorry, Papadon, I talked about the first contact with the Vulcans when they come down and they land and all that stuff from Star Trek. But if somebody really landed right there on the White House lawn or in front of us or anything like that, if it was anybody outside of us, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. What are the Kardashians doing? It's like nobody gives it. It's an idiocracy.
It would have to be a Mars attack scenario.
It would have to be a war.
Independence Day with a real mothership, like a little UFO that housed 3 dudes that was, no bigger than a 2-bedroom fucking colonial house. People are like, fuck it. Seen that in a movie before. And not even put it over of what the reality of what it is, And then we talked Bigelow earlier, that one interview he gives to the reporter where he's saying, we don't need to go look. They're already living here among us. And they're like, she puts it over, what do you mean? He's like, what I just fucking said. She's like, you don't think that'll get you in trouble? He's like, I don't give a fuck. A, I'm rich, and B, what I say versus what's real is tiny in the scope of the reality of what I'm telling you. And her little blonde-headed pea brain can't even fucking put that together at that point, you know?
But people look and say, like she just said, don't you think that'll get you in trouble? It's like, that's it. With who? Exactly. Why aren't people taking that piece and going,
kick it back to Ronald Reagan, who everybody grandpa, he was sleepy, he had jelly beans, hooray, he's a doddering old man. But now he said, what if there was an enemy that we could all face together? What if we were to be unified against one common goal? All right, cool. You want to Nostradamus that and you say, well, maybe he was talking about AIDS, maybe he was talking about poverty, maybe he was talking about, yeah, sure, maybe he was talking about all of it. But everybody knows, like, it's common, it's almost a joke now. Everybody knew he was into the space race. He was into the whole defend the planet from aliens.
Yeah, you don't name it Star Wars just for fuck all.
Right, just because they were like, oh, I'm a big George Lucas fan, big fan. Like, they don't, every president makes the joke that they want to see the archives. They want to see the aliens. They've all made the joke in some passing breezy manner, and everybody's been, oh, you're hysterical, Obama. He said it.
Yeah,
he had said it
even the joke of Dave Chappelle posing with the aliens so you can sub Obama in there as black president. Like, that's predictive programming.
All of it, man. Obama, Trump, because Trump said it. He had said it a few times that he was like, oh, if there's aliens, you'll all know about it because I'm going to see them. I want to see them. And then when Obama was doing it, he had said, somebody asked him about UFOs, and Jimmy Carter was into UFO. They were all into it, and they all wanted to know. And I'm sure there's the level of, we'll tell the president this, but there's this involved. But we'll tell him this because they're obviously an idiot too. So, you know, again, you're going to get deeper and deeper, but they all wanted to know, and they all had the power the stroke to at least open up the first door. You know, as far as the firmament thing going with the rocket, when that happened, you know, I went on to check it out and was like, oh, wow, cool. And then it got explained away as a spinning mechanism that was being developed. So when they do scientific experiments on the payload, that thing, it slows down the spin and that's why it slowed down to that really, really slow spin. It wasn't caught in anything. It didn't get stuck in anything. It's technology. That's the only reason that happened. But everybody took it and ran and were like, oh my God, it's stuck in fucking space pudding.
The sound it made sounded like it hit a viscous substance.
It did. It went from that.
It could have hit a spaceship or a satellite that's cloaked.
It would have exploded.
I mean, to go from that type of rattle to just an instant boop in a bubble, kind of where it really just took off all that velocity. That was business exposing, you know. And there's another video where supposedly something skids across the top of a firmament where it's like that, and then it hits that. I only saw that once. It's not in my mind as clearly as that rocket video is, which I saw.
Well, here's an analogy. That rocket was going God knows how many hundreds or whatever miles per hour, stopped dead and started spinning and had that boom sound and little. Yet a plane that has basically plastic on the nose can cut through steel.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So something more.
What type of
rockets made atmosphere? Of more like powerful materials that can survive space, I would assume, right? So it's got to be better than a plane, and you can't break whatever atmospheric barrier.
Yeah. Unless there is just a density difference, and it is air, but 4 or 5 times as dense, so it's like you're landing on a memory foam cushion or something like that along those lines. In the
then shouldn't re-entry be like that too?
I don't think it did re-entry. I didn't think that was a rocket.
No, re-entry burns up.
Oh,
I'm just saying that you're going
the video.
Yes,
that's the video.
Okay, so now they're explaining this now that it got to 73 miles.
Keep it right there.
And that's how it was going. They killed the audio on it because there's some sort of copyright law. And then watch this. 2.
I gotta get Luke back to work so I can play the videos. And look at that.
Now wait for it. Ready? Hang on.
Of yo-yo spin mechanism 2014.
Ready? This is the most unsexy thing. This is the most unsexy explanation of anything.
So it's some type of technology that just stops
Ready
the
for
spin.
it? Wait. Ready? There it is. Spin, and they give you the spin rate. They give you all the scientific bullshit for it. There it is.
It looks like a base for my Christmas tree.
Right, exactly. And they took like a record player and they put it on top.
That's what Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze made the fucking pottery with in Ghost.
That's it right there.
Greeks invented pottery.
Or Sal,
we
we got to look at it from a worker's point of view. Is that some after the fact shit that they don't want you to know, so they fucking put that out on the back end of it? We got to have a fucking explanation. We've been exposed.
True. There is that, but like, it's the most unsexy thing ever. You could be like, oh, this was this, and you're like, or it was that.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely.
So, and now at that point, again, you fall back into, well, we're jaded pricks about things. So, but now here's the thing: if somebody were to turn around and say, well, here's the firmament, we found firmament jelly, we have in a jar here, would we all be like, oh shit?
Where's the peanut butter? I'm hungry.
Where's the firmament peanut butter?
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, you got to look at it from both sides.
Yep. Yeah, I agree that I don't want to buy into anything 100% on that, but I like that you showed that at the end, because instead of us just fucking being marks for some firmament shit and atmospheric conditions, it's got to be there. I believe it's round Earth. I believe we've been to space. I think the fucking moon landing's fake. However, I do believe there's mad bases on the moon. So, y'all, that's what it is. Next one's last one. We got another one after this, but I'm just going to cut it off here. Was Theory Girl, our girl Theory Girl, who's also in the Stevie Richards Fitness Hacker Hameen Media Group. By now, I'm sure you've all seen the ridiculous Balluminati commercial. If not, here it is. She sends.
Remember that? I told you all about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Believe me, it's on during SmackDown, so we fucking had to suffer through it. My first thought was, here we go. The mainstream marketing machine is just trying to jump on this bandwagon, thinking it's cool, just some cultural appropriation from this rap community, which is a joke in of itself, because I firmly believe that Jay-Z created the current concept of the Illuminati to add to the mystique and exclusivity to his brand. But are we headed down a slippery slope? Is it more desensitization? Just getting everyone accustomed to the imagery so that we won't even know when when they've taken control? I have no idea. Just food for discussion. Oh, and then there's Charlie Daniels. Have a great day.
I was gonna say,
yeah, the
Charlie Daniels was
piece.
a bitch about it.
Yeah, he
was hot about the whole thing.
Yeah, he was pissed
Who's
off.
Charlie Daniels?
Devil went down
Are
to
you
Georgia.
fucking kidding me?
He's a country legend.
Okay, I know the song.
So he
Yeah,
put out a thing like he cunted off about it, about it's not something, I can't remember the exact words, but it's like
something along the lines of, they don't know what you don't know what you're joking with.
Yeah, you don't know you're playing with it. It ain't nothing to joke about. Like,
so then everybody fucking jumped on him and gave him a raft of shit.
Yeah. And that
about
once
the
he said that, though,
and
Devil went down to Georgia, took on a whole.
Cabra, that's awesome. That's Big Ray's new name, Chalupa Cabra.
Hey, Big Ray's lost.
Shout
10
out
pounds.
Big Ray, 10 pounds this week, man. He bust out cardio in his first week of Stevie Richards.
That's why
Fitness.
he went from Gordito, the Gordito Dorito to fucking Chalupa Cabra.
Hey, that's all
awesome.
right, man. He'll be a skinny burrito by week 7.
Nice.
But yeah, man, with the Balluminati, I think Theory Girl, you're spot on with it. They're just trying to fucking take what it is from people like us who are the cool kids in school and bring it to the Nancy Brown and make it digestible, because she's going to take her stupid fat ass kids, Toby and Hunter, over there for dinner because she doesn't want to cook dinner. And, and it's just an easy thing for her to drive through and, oh, we saw that and now it's mystical and we're in the Illuminati now too. It trickled down because I heard Katy Perry was in it, and I like Katy Perry. She was on Us Magazine. Like, all the same old dumb bullshit that as it trickles down. And, smart marketing ploy, maybe. Infuriating to those who are awake, definitely. Indoctrination, absolutely.
Yep. And, they started that out doing a couple of the commercials at like 3 a.m. on Adult Swim. And then now all of a sudden they're doing them in prime time now, because I told you guys about it and then I didn't see them. And now all of a sudden they're making prime time now. And I was like, well, I guess there it is.
It's not that over because the Ascension got squashed this week. So, fuck.
Boy, did they ever. Dude, I said it on Russo's thing. They did one thing that was amazing, and that was actually making them look less than what they were by somehow like making Connor look like a complete pussy and didn't want to get in the ring until the Bludgeon Brothers told him, yeah, you can get in the ring, little guy. We're not going to do anything. Like fucking stupid.
You know, like I said, I don't want to cast shade because Victor's my boy from original
I'm
OVW.
Friends with Ryan too.
Yeah, but and Luke Harper too. But me knowing that Rick Victor's probably one of the top 5 workers on the roster, and having him to go through that, and I'm just like, you're getting no return on your investment. That guy can fucking go an hour calling it himself, and I guarantee Sami Zayn and Owens cannot. So that shit kills me. Pop, what do you think on the Taco Bell commercial? You seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. I agree with you 100%. Everything you said. I mean, there's nothing more I can add to it. I can't follow what you said because you hit every nail on the head. Total 100%. Desensitization, indoctrination, all this nonsense.
Yeah, they're even doing Eyes Wide Shut, and that's the fuck thing, as far as everything that goes, because Nancy Brown's never seen Eyes Wide Shut as much. She's like, oh, a Tom Cruise movie, and they might put it in.
Oh, she saw it.
Well, they get to that part. She's like, this isn't family friendly. We need to turn this off. You know what I mean? They thought it was going to be something else completely, where Tom Cruise is a blind guy and he gets led around or something like that. But it turns into something.
They saved that shit for late night.
Yeah.
Once Toby and Hunter were in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, then her and Neil watched it.
Toby, you're too young for this. You're too young for this, Toby. But yeah, shout out Theory Girl. Keep kicking ass on Stevie Richards Fitness. Good to be interacting with you, and definitely like to have you on again in the next couple months, especially as when you were on and had a great show with us talking about all the bullshit of the sexual proclivity of Hollywood, and look where we are now, sister. They all falls down. So definitely want to have you back on and keep kicking ass. We're all proud of you. But yeah, I'll close up the mailbags. There's one more, and it's a long-ass email, and I don't really feel like reading it, so we'll get to that next time. Greg Miron, our boy Greg Moron, shout out, man, but we'll catch up with you on the next one. So conspiracyhorseman@gmail.com, hackerhameen@gmail.com. Hit me up there or on the other, and we'll definitely try and get your letter on the air, guys. But let's go back, because we're talking rockets and we're talking SpaceX and all this business, man. It did give me... SpaceX. Yeah, space.
Oh, they said SpaceX.
Yeah, I did say that. I had a whiskey if you didn't see me drinking it earlier.
That was where the affirmation KY jelly comes from.
Yeah, exactly. It did, spark my interest and be like, why the fuck aren't we seriously hot or putting heat on people, especially seeing all this stupidity, libtard Oprah shit, when the week before we have alien UFO disclosure, and Stevie brought that up on the Infinite Fringe, and I just want to let people go off on that, because I think it's important that we are angry about it and we do put it back in the forefront of our listeners' minds. Stevie.
It's I know I don't mean to be the person that not the Nancy Brown, but the person that rains on every parade. I just don't have the faith in people that even if an alien did come up to them and said, "Hi, I'm an alien," and we got disclosure that way, that they're not. People just don't. I don't have faith in people that they're going to really be excited about this and want to be enlightened and have their consciousness raised, or have all these things that are going to happen with this. What's that?
No, man, nothing. Keep on.
What?
No, I totally agree with you, bro. Humanity sucks. It's just, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
I'm laughing because you're 100% correct.
I just don't. Yeah, we talk every week about it. We talk
Your
every week.
misery is bringing us great joy.
Thank you. God, fucking SmackDown. My God. Why can't Russo record the fucking show on Wednesday? So Wrestling Worlds with a Z on YouTube, I can watch it in 20 minutes.
I just want to point this out, and please, this is Stevie. I swear to you, I mean, no offense to this. When you lost your cat, you weren't this upset, man. You were not this beat up. You are seriously right now. I am worried about you to a point where like I want to call your wife and be like, check on it.
She walks out and takes a look at me.
Check
She
on
knows.
him.
Yeah, like it's seriously like there is such a physical toll that has been taken upon you.
The only thing missing is the shitty check every 2 weeks. That's the only thing that's fucking missing. Like somehow I lose money on my T-shirt sales with the right
I don't understand. It's like you were not this like you weren't when all this shit went down. You were like, oh, I'm really busted up. And we're like, oh man, sorry. You are physically right now destroyed.
Did you guys watch?
Really
Did you guys watch SmackDown?
Hell no, man. No,
Yeah.
dude.
Just do us a favor next week.
Next week, you fucking watch.
Because I have a bold
Tuesday,
prediction. It's gonna suck next week.
Yeah.
A bold
I'm gonna hop
prediction.
on. We'll all get on Messenger and I'll watch it right
Dude,
along with you.
I'm
guys.
telling you, man.
Well, you see the messages as we go back and forth.
I did. I was at work and I had to work fucking late last night, and I saw this shit blowing up. And you're going, "Is it over yet?" And we weren't even like 5 minutes in, and I'm like,
Yeah,
So,
I was
yeah,
joking.
yeah.
Week 1, I was joking. Week 2, I wasn't joking.
This week was
painful.
so bad, dude. Like what I'm saying, what I said earlier, Sal, is absolutely true. Like, sure, whatever fucking happens in the ring, you're gonna get so hot at the chain of events that rip through your mind of the shit that happens in the ring. That's just we've all watched and been a part of shitty segments. We know what the fuck that feels like. But to watch it, 1, 2, 3, 4 might be promising. 5, 6 sucks. Main event was the setup from the main, and it's just fucking absolutely rotten to do some bullshit business that doesn't get the boys over, that gets management over. You're gonna be like, holy shit, boys, I'm blown out.
We went from
we have a date on next Tuesday. Let's get back to Stevie.
The culture. I want to say this too. This is just my personal pride. During my era when I was there, I was too small to even be Intercontinental Champion at 220. Now it's like I'm too big to be world champion, or I'm not fat enough, or I don't, I shave my chest hair too much, or I look clean, or like I showered.
I'm fat enough to be world champ.
Bro, what were we talking about, Ben? When we were talking about with the overcompensating to correct it. So back when Stevie was there, no fat guys can be in WWE.
No.
There was no fat guys there because everybody had to be a bodybuilder. Everybody had to fit into Vince's thing. Now, and no offense, Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens had the body of a Teddy Graham, and they were like, oh, well, we can get him over. Yeah. And they did. So now more and more fat guys are showing up. And now you who are in amazing shape, and you are a clean guy. You don't smell. You don't piss yourself. You don't do drugs. So, you're kind of not the fucking, you don't fit the T-shirt anymore. Yeah. So it's an overcompensation.
But I am as unhappy as I am to watch it every week, I'm very happy that we're doing this. So if anybody is listening or watching on Twitch, I'm absolutely positively happy with my life the way it is now, and I would never ever go. Not that me and Ben have much of a choice after 2 weeks of Russo.
Ben and I.
I did that on purpose. So
I know.
I love where I'm at in my life. I love where everything's going, and because of what happened the past 2 weeks at that show, my wife, what?
Fast forward.
It sounds like it's a fucking. It sounds like it's an incident. What happened at that show? the terrible tragedy that aired in front of my fucking face for 2 weeks in a row.
I'd be happy to show up at the next show and smack the shit out of half your creative team.
I gotta fucking go into a mental institution or something. This can't fucking go on like this.
Paul, Steph, Vince, I love you guys.
But shout out aliens and
shout out to aliens.
One thing I thought that was kind of
fucking
important.
abduct me before 8 o'clock next week.
Well, one thing that happened in the last month, aside from disclosure and coinciding with disclosure, was that movie fucking Bright, which got all shit reviews, which drove people to watch it. And it's orcs and fairies. I didn't think it was great, but it's Alien Nation, right?
Alien Nation,
but with
and they
mythics.
tied in with Shadowrun.
And the main thing is, it's Will Smith doing a Netflix movie. Come on. Right. That's fucking stooge telling right there, as far as Will Smith would not be like, you know what my career needs? a Netflix movie,
Netflix.
you know, where I'm going to make shit money. Obviously, he's part of the whole greater system, and it's predictive programming to get us used to living with this. And I got to shout out Big Ray on this because he's put over on Impact Attack before. He goes, I think it'll be 2 to 3 years before we're doing that. We're living with an alien in this fact. And Will Smith instantly puts in our mind 4th of July, the biggest alien movie, or Independence Day, the biggest alien movie of all time. So regardless if he's doing that, the psychological ploy is there to say aliens, even though they're disguising it as some Harry Potter shit. You know what I mean?
And any gamer from 1983 on who ever played Shadowrun knows this world, like orcs, aliens. It was the new age because they used to exist and then they came back around.
Okay.
So this is Shadowrun. This has been laid out for gamers for years, like a long time. And it's technology, it's magic, it's all of that shit tied in. So, you know,
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Okay.
I didn't think it like the reviews of this is the biggest pile of shit of all time, right?
No,
that's just going to drive people to go watch it. That was a fucking psyop in itself.
It was
all right.
It
all right.
good, but it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a TV pilot.
Yes, that's
Agreed.
exactly what it felt like. It didn't have the big movie event
Which makes it
idea.
even more curious that Will Smith is doing a TV pilot style thing.
Well, dude, they're tossing money at him. They probably gave him like fucking $20 million to do it. You know what I mean? Netflix got all this
Or
cash.
they pitched the idea to him and he said this could be a thing. So if this becomes a thing, I'm in on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he did Suicide Squad. You know what I mean?
Which was garbage.
Yeah.
It was
Anyway.
garbage.
They weren't tipping the hat to anything there except a sucky movie. There was no disclosure of anything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, you know, looking at it as a worker, as a writer, dude, the moves they made with putting this out there do fucking put to the point of first contact. Are we going to be living with these people? And to go back to the Bigelow thing where he says they're already here living.
Here.
Yeah. Like, that's just like taking the mask off. Surprise, I was here the whole time. And, you know, I was your registrar at your college sign up or whatever the fuck. And really, I'm from planet whatever. You know, who knows, man?
You know
Is
what?
it going to be that easy?
Men in Black is a documentary.
Very well could be.
See, I felt like one of the most overlooked movie, but what would really happen, District 9.
Yep.
Never watched it.
Oh, seriously,
good,
dude,
though.
do
Yeah.
yourself a favor, watch the movie.
It's not bad.
Because it's a giant world-changing thing. And what do? We stick them in the ghetto. We make them the new ghetto.
Same in Bright, right? It's like the orcs are in East LA in the gangsters. The elves are fucking super rich because they can spin gold out of their pubes or whatever the fuck. And then everything is under martial law when it comes to humans, where we knuckle down with fucking guns. So, shockingly enough, right?
So again, like I said, dude, everything, like, it's so funny because when I hear other people who aren't like gamers, you talk about it, and if you were to turn around and find gamers and talk about that, they would all look at you and go, "Oh, that's Shadowrun," because that's exactly what it is. So like to me, like when I was watching it the whole time, I was angry and bitching about it because I'm going, this is Shadowrun. Why don't they just make the Shadowrun movie? Because if they made a Shadowrun movie, you have instant fan base.
Sure.
But with this, now you got everybody.
How does Shadowrun end up, Sal? What's
It's a game. It just keeps going.
okay?
So the whole world is affected by this, and you have the ghettos with the orcs and the gangs, and actually corporations are the ones in charge, and corporations, become the world powers. So what they do is, when you're playing the game, you play. There's guys called Johnson. Bless you. Guys called Johnsons. Johnsons are the guys who come give you jobs. Bless you.
I guess I'm not giving you any more faith that I feel okay. Go ahead.
During
Sorry.
during Stevie's whole plea before saying how great he feels, I just kept seeing the newspaper spin where it's like Stevie Richards suicide. I just saw that coming. Like, crowd mourns over Stevie Richards suicide.
Both of them.
But yeah. Aw. But yeah, it's basically that's what you guys, that's what you do. You are anonymous. You go through a Johnson who is your handler. He comes.
Don't we come out of a Johnson?
He comes and he gives you your job, and he gives you your run to do. That's the whole thing. they give you money, and you work for. You don't know who you work for, and you just take that. You take that. That's your role. Your deal is this Johnson gave me money. I go do this business. I come back. He pays me, or he tries to kill me. I don't know. So the whole game's about that.
Okay.
And then you have the ghettos with the orcs. Some orcs and elves and dwarves. They all have magic. Magic is a thing, but decking is a thing where you can tap into computers and go into the third world into virtual realities. Dude, it's a combo of all of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a weird combo of everything. And during Bright, I'm going, this is fucking Shadowrun. Because that's exactly what it is. So, and then they tied in with American Indian culture with, shamans and stuff like that. There are people who still live out in the woods who aren't involved with technology at all because it's evil. Right. So, but like, this is what it's going on. And then you watch, like, Will Smith is the cop, and Alien Nation, and they just basically took all the names off of it. Right. But it's been this idea is not new.
Okay. The only thing I pop for is, like, you know what? Orcs in the NFL as linemen actually could save the NFL and be a ticket draw. That was about the only thing I took
Vince
away
is going to book him in the XFL, dude.
Yeah, well, why not? You guys got anything to add on that before we move on to the next topic?
New Day, the New Day are gamers too, right?
Yeah, up, down,
so
down. Yeah.
You could talk to them about this Shadowrun, see if they know about it.
Ask Xavier. I'm sure he knows.
Yeah.
No, I'm being dead serious. No,
so am I.
Okay.
I'm sure X knows all about it, man.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in on it. I wouldn't doubt if he gets a crossover shot too, man, into this kind of stuff going forward. I could definitely see him in a Will Smith position along those lines.
He'd be silly not to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you know what's funny? I was watching this thing on the computer about the Skinwalker Ranch, right? And how everything was locked up, so people can't come in. And I said to myself, what if it's locked up so things don't get out, like Bigelow, because he's a werewolf?
Well, the Skinwalker part of that, I mean, you're not too far off, is the Native American of shapeshifters, right? So there is something.
The evil beings, the Skinwalkers are evil, and they're just, that was their whole thing. And then that whole, on that Skinwalker Ranch, there was so much shit. Even when Jesse and
Uncle Jesse,
Uncle Jesse went out there with the kids,
with the oikos.
Yeah,
he fed them oikos.
Yeah. So when Jesse and Cuomo's kid, I think it was Cuomo. They went out there and they went to the Skinwalker Ranch, and then they got to the gate.
What's his name? I thought it was the director's kid.
Stone's
kid.
Stone. That's it. Oliver Stone's kid.
Yes, Oliver Stone's kid.
Cuomo's on the news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they got to the gate, and that's as far as they got. With Jesse's kid and Stone's kid, they got there, and he sent them out to go get shot if something happened.
What about Jesse's girl?
No. I think that point is moot. Point's probably moot.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something happening, because the Skinwalker Ranch and around there is supposed to have DUMBs, it's supposed to have deep underground military base underneath it, right? And wasn't there a battle, or they were, Papa and I said they were trying to escape, and there was a huge battle underground to keep them in the base. Aliens.
I'm trying to think. One of the things I did hear that there was, they hired security guards, and 2 of the security guards were killed.
Yes.
By escaping aliens.
That's not unlike the Area 51, where they basically somehow pulled their weapons on the EB-1s and ended up with basically the bullets in their own head. Remember that story from Area 51?
Yeah. This wasn't anything like laser beams or anything. They just got torn the fuck apart.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, this wasn't like, ships.
It's like District 9, like the District 9 aliens.
They
fuck you up.
The lightning guns were awesome, too.
Yeah.
It blew people apart.
I saw a quick story about Area 51, the supposed air force, not Air Force, but like transportation that doesn't exist, where they take people from Vegas airport to there.
Yeah.
It was actually posted for hiring this week. So if you want to be a pilot or concierge,
I have a connection. A friend of mine, his brother worked in Area 51. He was an office guy. He never went down into the gimmick, but they put you on a school bus. You were on a school bus, and he was an office schmuck, and he did it for 25 years. Where they took him, You got on the bus, you got out, you went into the office, you did your work, you came back out, and that was it. He goes, never saw anything, never saw a ship, never saw a goddamn thing.
Did he even try to, or he
didn't care? He had a job. Dude had a job. He's the most mild milquetoast motherfucker on the planet. Couldn't care less.
I'm sure everything's badge clearance there too. You can't get through a door if they don't want you to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was him, and he said, it was me and 20 other people. And every day you saw these guys. You went into the office, and it was a normal office. He goes, we joked, we talked, but then we got back on the bus and we went back to our place and we said we were done. 25 years that shit went on. He said, and nothing happened. He goes, I never saw anything. There wasn't even so much as a fire drill.
I think once it became pop culture there, even though they do have all the, in the desert microphones to pick things up and send guys out, shit's not going down there like it was at Skunk Works, or even I've heard Area 49, Area 701 as new ones as well. Yeah.
Oh, so even beyond Dugway. Dugway's shut down too?
Yeah.
Because Dugway, when the Area 51 became popular, everything was already transferred over to Dugway.
Right. And, now it's Elon Musk and what they're doing, man. If they've got all the defense contracts, they've got all the intel of what's really going on. And I don't know, man, if we are at that level of Corey Goode and Gaia, or that level of the guy saying, I could get to the moon in a nanosecond, we just don't have the tech to do that. That's the end of they live for me, of just being able to transport somebody and teleport them to that, of being 50 years ahead of us on technology at this point. And again, NASA work, Area 51, nothing more than a tourist idea so people in the desert can sell bumper stickers and whatever else the fuck they got at that point. And then just to test out new vehicles. They helped Roswell. Yeah.
They saved that town, basically.
Yeah. I believe at that time when they found Roswell in the ships and whatnot, that sure, it was working and operational, and maybe they took live aliens back there and had them there for X amount of time, but in 2017, it ain't going down there, bro.
Well, it's funny, like, you got Roswell, and literally that town was rebreathed life again.
Sure.
But then you got places like Woodbridge, Virginia with the Mothman. The town, again, they tried. They tried to get that Mothman shit pumped up, and you couldn't. Or Kecksville, you get Kecksville, Pennsylvania. Who the fuck cares about, like, all these places are just as valuable as Area 51 as far as these ideas go, and it strikes in some places, and like I'm sure Kecksville still isn't. They haven't had their big boom. I'm sure they've had a couple visitors, and I'm sure Woodbridge has gotten their fair share of their visiting people, but it's nothing like Area 51, like Roswell. Roswell, that whole town is based on that bullshit, and that's the only thing saving that town.
Right on. And if you guys aren't watching Secure Team 10, great new content coming out every day from there to dispel old myths of the lies that we were told by NASA, as well as top-notch footage that's getting stooged to him. If you're really not bringing up the fact that aliens were disclosed, and even that seemed like a psyop to me to some degree, because every major news outlet was a mouth breather reading it off a teleprompter verbatim of the story they wanted to put out in a safe condition. Doesn't matter. You're still being conditioned so your grandparents don't have a heart attack when the mothership does show up over the White House and drops the big laser beam hammer on them. So
let me ask you a question now, just amongst the guys. I know two of you guys are religious. So aliens show up. What does that mean to you? Anything? Does that fuck with the creation thing at all?
No.
Not for me, because there's got to be a creator of all this anyway. And the only thing, this is where religion comes into play, because there's going to be religious chaos. There's going to be mass suicides. That's when people are going to sell it. Like, nobody's selling anything.
Yeah.
So they're all going to say that, I don't know. They may do what Ben says too, and storm the Vatican and do all this stuff and want to see all the secret documents that are in the vault and everything, because they have the largest telescope in the world. Why would the Vatican have the largest telescope in the world?
Named Lucifer.
And why would Lucifer, why would they even do that? Why would they name a project after the biggest enemy in Catholic history,
He's not their enemy. He's their biggest money maker.
Well, let me get a little religious on this. Right?
Gotta build a baby face off a heel, baby.
Well, I mean that's
not last night.
That's the Lucifer they want to spin. Everything. That's the Lucifer they want to spin. But the real Lucifer took an unenlightened ape man and made him into a thinking, enlightened individual. And now we're talking the atheist here, talking religious, of getting religious. If the creator, if it fucking gets stooged off that it was the Anunnaki and was some fucking biotech project where they did a chromosome replacement and our brains went from fucking primate level to 10-12% to where we are now as unenlightened assholes, then I'm half into the religion part. Like, then I'm believing Bible as literature and a roadmap, not the fucking heaven or hell bullshit. But
so like, basically, it would take an Anunnaki to show up and be like, "Listen, Ben."
Ancient alien theory, right? It's like fucking early man, primate man is going to call them gods if they fucking come out of the sky on their chariots or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reality of that, of being a fucking far more believable story than some saints who fucking are going to let me through some gate someday where I fucking give them the eye poke and a fucking low blow and walk through myself anyway. Like that's all the bullshit myth.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, you will. You'll pay $10 a fucking week every
I'm gonna
Sunday.
Be pulling those fucking angels off.
Yeah, come on, St. Peter. I'll fucking take you out.
Oh, tremendous.
But I know you're saying that if the genetic engineering thing was proven,
right,
and people are going to be, that's going to trigger so many billions of people that
technically
we were actually created by as slaves to the gold mines or anything like that.
Well, put it this way: what does it say in the book, in the Bible? It says we are made in the image of the Creator. Correct. So who's to say that the Creator, God, was human? Who's not to say that we were some kind of ape-looking fucking primate, and then the Creator made us a hybrid, and we look like them because we took a lot of their characteristics, and now we stand up straighter. You know what I'm saying? It could be, dude, it's such a loose interpretation. You never know. They can spin it any which way. So it doesn't really matter if we get fucking aliens here, because at the end of the day, they'll find some new way to spin it, some kind of gimmick to fucking make it work, because they all want to get paid.
And that's
so what you're saying is that we looked like at one point had shaved heads and our faces were really red and fingernails really thick, but a sweatshirt.
Yeah, wow, what is going on there?
And then we evolved from that into long hair.
No. I think
handsome fellas.
I think we started out.
What's happening with those fingernails, huh?
I think we evolved from being what?
You on that Triple H diet? Your fingers are pretty thick,
Look at
man.
the fucking size of his neck.
What's going on with that?
Forehead's big as fuck.
I'm sitting fucking right next to the fucking camera.
What's with the fingernails? What's going on with that?
Which fingernails? This one?
I had to pick one.
That one? How about this one?
Oh.
Regardless of the fact, I think we evolved
fucking
from
chiclets. Jeez. Sorry, go ahead, bro. Stevie did it.
They're battle tested.
I'll put over for Pop. I'll hot tag here, bro. And if it is made
show last night.
I got nothing, dude, because how am I gonna follow that? I got a fucking tree hugging, cat loving hippie.
Stop it.
If it is made in the image of the Creator, man, and the fact of now we're the ones genetically modifying our food. You want a fucking kid with blue eyes, you can have it. Right? You want a kid with 3 parents, you can have it now. So we're at that.
And the thing is, it's if you have the money, you can do whatever you want to your kids.
Yep.
You can modify this to whatever you want if you got the money to back it up.
You know he's feeling better now. He took the fucking hoodie off, guns out.
Yeah, he's ready to throw down. I feel like the sun's come out.
Yeah, man, for sure. So
where's your Billy Gunn t-shirt?
Oh, shit.
I'm just like everybody else. I didn't buy one.
Shit.
Tremendous.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
Oh,
that was awesome.
So we'll see. I mean,
you can follow Billy at Sunshine and Happiness on Twitter.
Shit.
Daily affirmations by Road Dogg, but no continuous booking. One of the fucking two.
I was completely quiet, by the way, when you did that. Stop doing your daily affirmations. Start writing a better show.
Yeah,
that's what he said on the show last time.
It's fucking bang bang. It's the truth. You know, when it comes to all this stuff, keep an eye on it. Keep it in the forefront of your mind and the conversation that you have. Don't talk about this bullshit with Oprah. Talk about the fact that an F-18 fighter pilot stooged off on multiple mainstream channels, that he has had encounters with them, that the CIA said they have been paying in a slush fund to investigate all of this, and that they did confirm it. Look into it further and send us anything you find at BWOStevie, at Dad No Save, at Greek God Papadon, and at bin_Hameen, because this is the shit that is truly important in the time of awakening right now. So appreciate you guys going with us on this. But I want to switch gears, because we only got about a half hour left, to QAnon. And we've heard QAnon a lot and what's going on in these 8chan boards in the deep web. There's 4chan and 8chan. These boards are kind of tough to decipher. It's not your regular Facebook news feed, but supposedly there's a 4 to 5 person team that is embedded with the Trump administration, some ex-NSA, some current NSA, who are putting these messages out there that need to be decoded. And right now, whether it's InfoWars and other ones that have, people who are ex-CIA trying to show what they mean by this secretive language, so they're not getting, taken down as revealing classified information. You need to look at the timestamps of when Trump puts out something stupid on Twitter and the timestamps of QAnon and when they're putting their out. Usually it's within a 3 to 5 minute difference, and QAnon is putting it out ahead of time. And there's a lot of stuff that's been stooged off, whether it's the Fusion GPS, Russiagate stuff being the PISS dossier being complete bullshit, Debbie Wasserman Schultz pretty much being stooged off as calling in the hit, the 187 on Seth Rich. Obviously, they're stooged off what have you with the Clintons when it came to the him putting out the sex trafficking or any human trafficking, that you can have everything taken from you, and then we get a server fire in an outbuilding where all of their files are stored as well. So a lot is going on. And also, I don't know if you guys caught, we talked about the plane that was going from Atlanta to Israel, but 2 other flights, one from Japan and one from, I think, Virginia to London, got turned around this week, and people were taken off of it. And the one that was going to Japan and got turned around, everyone on the plane had to sign a non-disclosure agreement for the 4 people they took off of that plane. So some major fucking shit is going down right now. And QAnon also stooged off that 400 troops from Arkansas were sent to Guantanamo Bay to prepare and reinforce Guantanamo Bay for possibly a new influx of white-collar criminals. And we saw, 60 people on that list of top CEOs all step down within the last 4 to 5 months. Extremely strange, covert behavior going on. Why you set it off for us, Papadon?
Well, to say that it hasn't been an interesting last few days is very conservative. Reason because the whole Gitmo thing, being renovated, being expanded, more air traffic going to Guantanamo Bay now in the last month or so than it has been in years. Allegedly, Obama wants to shut it down. Obviously, it didn't get shut down, and now Trump's taking the reins, and I guess they're building a high security prison there for, like what you said, white collar criminals or people who are getting drained from the swamp. Podesta brothers are nowhere to be found. Tony Podesta stepped down from the Podesta group. They're all MIA. All of a sudden, some of these politicians are wearing boots on their legs for some strange reason. Some people are saying that it's covering up ankle bracelets so they can't leave the country. Like you said, I've been on a few flights in my lifetime. They've never turned around a flight for 1 passenger or 5 passengers to go back because they said it was the wrong passenger, and the people who didn't get turned back, they had to sign NDAs. That's uncalled for. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if someone got on the plane by accident, they're not going to turn the plane around. They'll make the guy go back to where he needs to go from the location where he lands.
Right.
So if he's landing in Japan, he's screwed. And from Japan, you know, he'll go where he or she needs to go, you know, the correct destination. But also, you know, the everything coming out, you know, in code and then coming to fruition, and all these sealed convictions that are coming out that are, and NYPD also now saying that there's a video of Hillary and Huma Abedin with an underage person, and they have all these emails from Wiener's laptop.
Four NYPD top people having to step down this week as well.
Correct, and
Yep.
also this certain what they say it was some kind of backdoor mechanism on the NSA is using on
Spectre.
old tech. Yeah, Spectre.
Yes.
So they can use it and now they can get everything, even the 33,000 emails that Hillary said were deleted, and all the files that were destroyed in the fire for the Clinton Foundation, showing how they did fraudulent business. So it'll be very interesting to see where all this comes to light and comes to pass, because, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if it is a draining of the swamp and it is a new day, then you can say whatever you want about the guy, from his his terrible hairstyle to his childish tweets. But if he did something right for a change and actually stepped up and drained the swamp and took all these criminals and put them behind bars, then he's probably one of the greatest presidents of all time. That's the only way he's going to get over with everybody.
They said last year was the year of salvation of what programs can be salvaged. This year is the year of reckoning, and be prepared. And now they're just trying to do this yellow journalism. But absolutely, with the Huma stuff, I didn't even think to get to that point. And then we saw another, I think, ex-senator blow his brains out in Idaho this week with the child trafficking stuff. Yep. And this echoes what happened in Kentucky not a month ago. A guy gets out of his car on a bridge and puts a gun to his head and pulls the trigger as well. Is it MK Ultra? Not sure. Or is it guilty conscience of knowing they got me, and I'm not going to be the one to stooge and end up going to Guantanamo Bay if I know I'm going down for that, for sure. But so much is happening at such a rapid rate. Stevie, what do you got for me?
It's going to, excuse me, it's going to get, I think there's going to be a time where it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better again. They're very, very quiet, and that scares me. You know, they were very cocky and arrogant at first, thinking the American public is stupid, and they're still trying to write books about Trump that are completely false, and they're admittedly false. And the mainstream media just kind of moves on and says, well, that didn't work, so let's try this. You know, and I remember the guy Wolf, it's like he's a scumbag, and they go, well, Trump's a scumbag too. They're throwing all these things out, trying to do the Jedi mind trick on people to always convince Trump is really that bad. Maybe he is, but sure as hell, everybody he keeps outing, the people in the DNC, that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she is about the shadiest person ever. The Donna Brazil, all these people.
Yeah. Who's the one from Haiti? They did the child trafficking that the Clintons came to. I can never remember her name. I'll look
child
her up.
Trafficking?
Yeah. Well, after the Haiti, big storm, and there's all these orphans.
Well, that lawyer committed suicide who was supposed to testify about the Haiti thing with the Clinton Foundation. Remember, he died. Dude, if everywhere we went, if we had to cover up some shady ass thing, and anybody who had anything ever to do with us ended up dead with a lot of suicides or robberies where they didn't take a goddamn thing. This is fucking brutal. I mean, we would be in jail a long time ago.
I want to put her name out there. Sorry, Laura Silsby is the one and she was locked up for trafficking, human trafficking out of Haiti, and it was the Clinton Foundation that came to her aid, and there was the lawyer that investigated them. You were right, Stevie, on that. Monica Peterson killed after investigating Clinton Foundation. So I think she's probably number 45 or 46 on the known kill list. With the Debbie Wasserman
since they started in Arkansas, it's in the triple digits.
Jesus.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Which is a longer list? The Clinton hit list or Jasmine Sinclair list? Wow.
Oof.
They're about even right now.
Yeah. I'd rather be on one than the other. I'll tell you that much right now.
Again, let's put
Which
the Bill
is?
Cosby math to it. But just put it to the Bill Cosby math. Let's call it. What are we at? Triple digits now?
It's got to be 104. I think it was 116 or 146. Something
let's
like
call
that.
it.
Crazy.
Let's call it 50 because I'm very generous.
Yeah.
So let's call it 50. 50 people are dead now.
With 1 degree of separation.
Let's just say 49 of them. The way they died was real. Like they took their own life. They were killed in a robbery. One person was murdered by the Clintons.
That's all you need.
That is still one fucking person murdered by the Clintons.
Yep.
Also, the QAnon, he said that they stated, we don't even know if it's a he, she, they, but, Debbie Wasserman hired MS-13 gang members to take out Seth Rich. And these gang members now were also found dead, too. And it's coincidental that Trump was going after MS-13 before all this went out for some strange reason. So
trying to take out their muscle so they can't take out who he wants. The only Stooge report I've got so far is 2 different accounts, and it was David Seaman, who was really on the Pizzagate, Petagate front and the Bitcoin front. It's tough for me to listen to his videos. Yeah. His voice pisses me off, and he tried to get into me with Twitter, and I fucking had to $5 face slap him on there. I'm surprised he didn't block me. But he puts over Thomas Drake, former NSA whistleblower, as being possibly one because he, in other interviews, on the lapel of his coat has worn a Q pin in the past before, not just recently, but like in the last years. And Q is actually a sect of the NSA for inside intelligence of that. So that's why they're saying Q.
Is that kind of like Q from the James Bond movies type thing?
I was wondering if it does refer to that or not. I don't think it deals with, because they deal with technology, obviously, in the coding side of things. So I don't think they're making fucking Maseratis with a fucking rocket launcher in it, but at least they've got the hacker squad on their team. So.
Well, once again, predictive programming is some truth in movies.
Yeah.
There is a Q.
You know what? Star Wars just now, Episode 8. Finn and Rose had to go find the hacker in the casino, and he was supposed to have the red pin on his his jacket.
I can't remember the name of that flowers, but the building you sent. Who sent that one building that looks like the flower or the rose that's opened up there? I can't remember what that's called. It's definitely a Rosicrucian.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm talking about? It looks like an arena.
We were just talking about it because it's part of the group that they go with the rose.
The Rosicrucians. But somebody sent that building, and it looked exactly like the pin from Star Wars that dude's supposed to fucking be wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that, and between that and the heavy-handed message of warmongering is money.
Sure.
That was just right there for you.
Well,
you don't even have to look. You don't even have to conspiracy theory that. You can just listen to the movie and get hit in the face with it a dozen times.
Well, that's the Saturnalia that we put over last week with the gods, the guns, oil, drugs, and sex trafficking, right? That's absolutely all written in there and part of it. And I wouldn't doubt
that's everything that the Clintons were involved with, and Obama.
Absolutely.
Everything.
But I don't want to gloss past that. What you really need to look into is Thomas Drake, NSA. His first day on the job was 9/11, and he was a whistleblower, I think the project was called Interwire. I can't remember off the top of my head. It might be that. It's something close to that, where that was the first spying on Americans, taking all your phone calls, all your metadata, and he stooged that off and was actually charged as an enemy of the state from that. And he was looking at 35 years, and they just shit hammered him for 4 years straight until the judge was like, fuck that. This guy he went through all the proper channels, Congress and the Senate, and you still tried to bury him for speaking truth to power because they didn't want to hear that shit. And, finally he got away with it and kind of went underground. Is he the one? I saw QAnon post a pic from Camp David where Trump was this week off a desk there in the presidential pen. Like this, whoever is in QAnon or the 4 or 5, somebody is 10 feet away from old Twitter thumbs at almost all times. And they're using this as a power play.
Two things also that got dropped by our boy Q. One was that Obama's place in Thailand got raided.
Yes, correct.
And another thing that they dropped a bomb on is that Pence is involved with the child trafficking.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. In
Yeah.
Indiana, there's a lot of
Pence.
ties back to
Huh.
Indiana, and another person that worked for him, that Pence is involved in human trafficking. Yep.
Wow.
And that's one.
I
Of
know
the, they're saying that one of the reasons why the guy who got fired out of I forgot the dude's name, out of the Trump administration, one of the first guys they let go, was because he found a list and Pence and his buddies were on it. And
That's Flynn, I think.
Flynn. Yeah, Flynn. Michael Flynn, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So now it's like basically the dead man switch sort of thing. If you get Pence, then everybody else goes down. If you get everybody, then Pence goes down. So it's a Mexican standoff.
Yep, absolutely. And maybe it's friends close, enemies closer type gimmick of why he chose him from the beginning. One thing I want to put over right now is it's a picture of a woman on Twitter of who this is, and I think that could just be a work. But I'd like everybody to subscribe to this. So take this down. At the letter B and then 754-34425. Again, that's at.
Hold on.
Sure.
Write it down.
All right, here we go.
At
It's a Facebook message,
Yep.
dude.
B754-34425. And this is also somebody who I believe is in the QAnon team, because they're doing a lot of Rosetta Stone stuff of decoding these messages from QAnon, and they're putting them out there on Twitter, because QAnon's not officially on Twitter, but this is one where as soon as it comes out, it's going to be on Twitter that way. And that's a great one to follow. And in the last 10 days, they've added probably 15,000 Twitter followers. They're up to 21.7 thousand now. But there's so much coming out there of timestamp and how to look at things and decode things as well. So
I'll be right back.
yeah, sure, buddy. Another thing he put out there was about what we talked about earlier, how SpaceX is the one leading the charge now into whatever this bullshit satellite payload that is, we don't see it anymore, or what have we've lost it in upper orbit, the rocket, all a total work of what they're trying to do. And when you went from, oh, we're just a private space company, to, sorry, classified, can't talk about it, classified. Now you're a defense contractor.
How do they answer the stockholders then? This is where this is like a WWE type thing. And I'm sorry, Sal, don't keep going back there.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a publicly traded company. You have stock in the Elon Musk and SpaceX or whatever derivative of whatever the company is that they have stock in. And every quarter you have to answer to these stockholders and tell them what you're up to and what's going on. And now, how can a publicly traded company have classified information?
Can I cut you off for a second? I'll show you.
Sure.
Okay. You guys are my stockholders. Okay. Now, you all ask me, how do you have classified information? Because now we're having our quarterly Skype. Okay. And I say, boys, do you have any questions? Well, he's doing coke off the side of the mirror. How about you, Hameen? Do you have any questions?
I'm just sniffing. I don't want to.
I definitely would like to know what's in the classified information as far as where my money's being spent.
Do me a favor. Check your accounts.
Oh, I see there's $17 million in there. Thank you.
Classified. Is that cool? You guys good with that?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It sounds good.
No, I'm
don't
not.
need
Fuck you.
anything
God,
else.
fuck you. I don't need this money.
I mean, check your account.
I'm gonna
$34 million. Fucking awesome,
You
man.
go kill Stevie.
Yeah.
So it's like they think about this. These people are in this to make money. So when they're given the money, oh well, the hundred million I gave you just turned into 200 million. Sure, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Sure, it's classified. Great, no problem, boss. No problem. It's
I wanted to switch back to this, and you're this right in what you're talking about, Sal. I put that list out there that I had seen. It might be 90. I think it was 60 people since June, July, all the way through February, who are top Fortune 500 CEOs stepping down and just going quietly into the night. And the big one is Eric Schmidt from Alphabet, which is Google's parent company. You're fucking Google's parent company. And he did that right in the time of Trump putting that the human trafficking bit over as well. And then I believe it's Thiel is the person's name, invested most of his billions into Bitcoin so he could wash his money, and they couldn't come for it in the bank because they said in that Trump bit that they will freeze your assets and take everything you fucking got, and that you will be done for at that point. So that's a very interesting piece of this that I want to keep an eye on, especially if Trump's going after the Google machine. That's huge. That's real big.
Here's my thing with QAnon. To me, I thought about this. What if the whole point of Trump kind of being a little bit of a schmuck? The whole point was, if they investigate me, they're going to investigate everybody with me.
Yeah.
So what if, and I'm giving him a lot of credit because this is like some fucking superhero style shit. What if that, hey, if I act like enough of a fucking monkey, these guys will investigate and then start seeing the dirt around me. And you know what? I'll have, to me, like the smartest thing, there is no fucking evidence of collusion because he didn't do it. But what if he had his kid go there, you do this, you do that, just enough to make people look around. So now it's not him. Obviously, I didn't blow the whistle. It's not me, guys. I'm still your buddy, Don. It's Donald Trump, man. It's not him doing the investigation. It's everybody else trying to nail him who's going to catch all the dirty shit around him.
You think Vince is in his ear?
Lay off the blow for like 10 seconds.
I know, dude. Do you think Vince is in his ear? Do you think he's that good of a worker? Do you think, based on his promo,
so much credit.
I would say based on his promo and us being workers, do you think he could work us that you can look through his shit and do that and say that that's legit? I'm with you on the premise, but it's tough for me to buy on it.
It is a high level of like Batman shit that he's doing, that everybody's like, oh, what an evil, wicked prick he is.
Right. Only
to come out to be the super baby face because he's like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew you were going to investigate me.
Yeah, I think the Pence thing is the most interesting part. Now that you told me that story about the human trafficking, I think that they keep. I think the 25th Amendment, right? They keep talking about impeaching him. They keep trying to scare him. They keep trying to bluff him, and he doesn't move. You notice they've been threatening this since the day he won the election. We are going to get him impeached. He's not mentally fit. He's this, that, the other thing. Which is funny about the whole he's not mentally or medically fit to do this when Hillary's just dropping half dead on 9/11.
Yeah, and you got Nancy Pelosi who fucking can't get. She gets more words wrong than Papa Don in a fucking promo. You know what I mean? Like,
holy shit!
Boom! He fucking comes through out of nowhere and drops the heat.
Wow.
Monster heel. Monster heel.
John McCain's a walking fucking brain cancer walking around.
A tumor.
Yeah, really, he just looks like he's a fucking zombie walking around. Most of these people are just so out of touch. I'm still trying to figure out the math of Maxine Waters making $120 grand a year and having four $10 million houses in California.
And all those people, not just the fucking CEOs, there's a lot of people in the GOP and Dems who aren't running again. How many times in the history of politics have you seen 20, 30 people go, yeah, I've had enough. I'm just giving up my seat. Fuck it. That's definitely what they do. They want to cut and run here, and that's a stooge in itself.
Even back with Lawrence King from the oh my God, I can't even think. He's the pedophile from the credit union. He was the same guy. He was making, $60 grand a year, and he had these $300,000 homes, and he was taking vacations, and he was giving all his buddies pools and shit like that. The guy works at a federal credit union, and he's arranging all kinds of child trafficking and horse shit. So where did all that money come from? On the books, guy's making 60, 70 grand a year, and he's doing well. It was back in the 80s. So, yeah.
When it comes to Maxine Waters and them, you just look at their voting record and follow it back through the lobbyist. I don't think that dumb old broad's like, yeah, I'm going to sex traffic these kids out of Haiti. She might get her cut to stay silent, but that she's no criminal mastermind to be doing that kind of shit.
How does that sound?
She can barely get her wig on straight.
Is that you, Sal?
Probably.
Okay.
He's cutting up
Stevie,
lines now.
Stevie grinding his bumps.
Yeah, the Pence thing just kind of dropped today. So it'll be interesting to see how much disinformation that is or how much reality that turns out to be. But the other part of that is, too, I can't remember if it's senators, congressmen, or House representatives. 74 of them didn't show up for roll call yesterday.
Wow.
And
Well,
I feel like that's a stooge of being like, guess what? They're going to be here to fucking arrest you, so don't
you
show
think
up.
They watch Raw? Or?
Yeah, they probably fucking watch SmackDown. They're like, fuck this, I'm not going in.
They're all in the hospital, recovering. Well, them not showing up and voting, you know, even if it isn't a criminal act, it's negligence because none of them ever show up to vote anyway, and they take vacations every 2 months, and that in itself with the government, it's no different than way back in the day when the royalty, they let them have cake type people in royalty. That's exactly what this government does. Like, if you really, this is where I have a lot of heat, not only with the fucking people ignoring disclosure, but citizens looking and saying, oh, you're giving us shitty health insurance, but you get the good stuff. That should be enough to make everybody do what Ben pitches all the time. Why are they not going to fucking Washington with pitchforks and torches and saying, give us the fucking same, you know, no, you're not going to get a lifetime pension. You're not going to make all this money and then do all these things and end up in the, you know, they all end. It's funny how they all end up in corporate jobs afterwards, and you find out that those are the ones they were getting lobby money from.
Yeah, and you become Al Gore, right? You become Al Gore, and you're getting millions for just speaking alone on carbon tax credits and fucking guilting people after you gave up the presidency. He falsified
that graph and all that. He falsified a lot of that data.
Yep. I'm surprised that's a guy they haven't really zoomed in on. I mean, you could dissect
that's a world
him.
crime.
Yeah,
doing that is like a crime against humanity to say, well, I kind of, you know, I this thing I was so sure about global warming, now climate change, I was completely wrong. Oops.
And
sorry,
he's staying small too. You haven't heard shit from him recently, have you? Right? Like he took his shit and he's locked
smart
down.
Though. You know, he is staying. It's what Al Franken should have did.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there being like, "Oh, this guy's a prick," shut your face. Yep. Keep your head down, you dummy.
Yep.
Which leads me to believe, Sal, which part is he trying to hide if not all? They talk about the corruption, the money, or even all the stuff with the sex trafficking. Well, maybe he rode the Lolita Express with Clinton. I mean, he's staying really small and being really smart. He's got $1 billion to stay small too. So why bother fucking any of that up?
Are you talking about Al Franken or are you talking about Al Gore?
Al Gore.
Okay.
Al Gore.
Yeah.
Al Franken's just stupid. Al Franken got too cocky. He's the definition of the cocky fucking liberal.
Well,
asshole.
Welcome to being a comedian, bro. You're not going to be able to shake that shit off. Like, and this is
adorable.
Yeah, it is adorable. and I have seen even more of this. I know I've put it over before, dude. I really almost am to the point where I feel they are doing something to the water in Chicago or something with the aerosol, because again, these comedy mentors I had who are high level are just biting again on this Wolf book on, hey, don't forget 16 women said the president raped them. Oh yeah, well, where the fuck are they? Why isn't CNN and MSNBC marching them out again? Like, dude, there's something really going on with the group mind psyop there where millions of minds are poisoned against him, and I just
it's all entertainment. Look, bro. Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah, he came out today too, right?
Look, great actor. We all love him, but come on, right? He comes out and he bashes Trump. Look, Trump
did it to Obama too.
I'll be the first person to say he's a fucking moron, Trump. Okay,
he did it to Obama.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make is that everybody in the entertainment industry is playing the angle so they don't burn any bridges, so they can get booked, so they can do fucking, shows or movies or whatever terminology you want to use. They're all working the gimmick because they all figure, well, if we all hate on them together, then you know what? I'll be in good graces with the producers and the executive producers and the picture houses, and this way I can keep my pockets fatter at the end of the day. Whether they feel that way or they don't feel that way, we will never really know how they really feel. But that's the cool thing in Hollywood now. Everybody, I mean, put it this way. I'm with what's the Me Too movement now, right?
Yeah.
And all these people coming, all these women coming to the fucking Golden Globes dressed with their boobs popping out and
Bullshit.
so much skin showing. I mean, what kind of?
I love it
What
when
kind of
they got to
gem-
eat shit, though, because Natalie Portman tries to get her shit in, saying about best directors, and none of them are, they're all men. And it's like the oh moment. And she signed the fucking Free Roman Polanski fucking movement thing. So it's just these big spoonfuls of shit that they got to eat. So I say let them keep talking, because they're all going to bury themselves because they're dumb as fuck at the end of the day.
Well, I don't know why everybody's not held culpable for knowing about the Harvey Weinstein thing all the way up to the Oprah. Everybody in Hollywood should have been like, you're an accessory before or after the fact with this, if you knew this fucking guy was doing this.
I know you like that meme for ProWrestlingTees.com/Ben Hameen I put out there. This fucking...
I love it. I love there's like half a dozen pictures of them hugging and doing this, and they're like, and somebody goes, how do you know she even knew about it? My God.
35 years in the biz.
Well, he had to pay for her super shiny, happy, racially motivated movies that she was making.
Yeah.
The Butler and every other movie that she wanted to put out that was a racially feel-good movie. And everybody had to smile and love it because Oprah did it. So there had to be a giant golden dildo in there. So, hey, Weinstein's going to pay for it.
Plenty of pictures with Stedman and Clinton together, too. Bill Clinton.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's all going to be a spin, and it's like Papa Don was saying, everybody wants to work. Just like we've all eaten shit. Okay, we've all done something stupid because we were like, oh, we want to make a good impression. Dude, I drove to Louisiana on my own, in my own fucking car, to show that I was willing. What? That's stupid. I look back now and it's stupid, but back then I wanted the job, so I did it, and I got the job. But still, the point is, the dumb didn't end there. But we've all done stupid things. We've all done things that we've been. Should have thought about that a little more. We've all done it. Yeah. Because we all wanted to do the job. We all wanted to have the job. Because hang on, ready? We all love pro wrestling. So we all wanted to be a part of that. No, we wanted the fucking job.
That was freshman year. Now we're in senior year. We can go.
Sal played It's My Sacrifice the whole way there and back.
I did. I remember. I got my smile back.
My sacrifice.
But the thing is, so now, you get a guy, you don't like Trump, you like Trump. Everybody's up his ass and fuck him. He's an asshole. He's evil. He's a maniacal womanizer and all this other shit. The guy turned around and brought transparency, something that we think about it. I think we all would be behind it. He brought transparency to those stupid talks. Yep. Okay. And everybody, I don't see how you can find something negative to say about it. Nothing but shitting on the guy, saying he made it a circus.
Yeah. Listen, man, like you said now, everyone's saying, oh, he's a womanizer, he's maniacal, he's this, he's a piece of shit. Well, right. Hate to break it to you, fucking the guy Weinstein was a fucking major donor to fucking Hillary, and he was Hillary's neighbor, and they used to party together. So you mean to tell me the shit doesn't fucking rub onto Hillary?
He used to go to White House and show movies to Clinton. He was the official cinematographer for them. Like,
come on, man.
Ridden on the Lolita Express.
Wake up. You're working on both sides of the fence, Republican, Democrat, whatever.
But that's the thing. You're talking about being brainwashed one side or another. And Ben, you're saying it's in Chicago. It's not in Chicago, because I have guys out here, guys who I respected their words. They were smart dudes. Some of them are teachers, and they come out and they say these things, and you're like, what? And then they throw out an example. Oh, what Trump wants to ban the word science from the CDC, and you're like, wait, what? Where the fuck are you getting this? And you look it up, and it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, it's all bullshit that's been driven into them. So it does make sense. And these are from relatively smart people. Yep. These are from people with degrees.
And it's funny because the whole thing with the wall and controlling the borders, Clinton pitched it, Obama pitched it, but it was fine then.
Everybody pitched it.
Exactly. Now, what did Trump do? He took us out of that, what is it, PPP, the triple P, whatever it's called, and the Paris Accords and all that stuff that was no good for
the triple P.
whatever the hell it's called. I don't know, man.
Oh, you know me. It's Triple P.
Triple
You down with
H.
PPP?
You sons of bitches. I swear to God. Anyhow, point being is, he took us out of that stuff that was no good for us. That was set up originally by Clinton. And I'm pretty sure he got paid to sign that fucking paper by whoever was to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So
back when Clinton wanted, back when Obama wanted to make a big deal about getting MS-13 out of the country because it was becoming an epidemic. They're terrorists, right? That's now, but now Trump's doing it, so he's racially motivated against Mexicans.
Same thing. I just saw a meme right before we came on. You know, pixie little white girl, 2016, no way should a millionaire TV star be able to run for president. That doesn't qualify him. 2018, oh, let's vote for Oprah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like just the fact that they can switch on a dime, dude.
People are saying that bullshit. And now here's the other side. Everybody who's trying to be super on both sides of the coin, don't laugh at Oprah. We all laughed at Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, man. I get Oprah has a business and Oprah's a businesswoman. Do you think Oprah's ruthless?
yes.
Yeah, I do, man.
Okay. Do you think Oprah can handle a couple $1 million at a clip? Probably.
Do you think Oprah's got mad skeletons that could be exposed?
Bing, bing.
Yeah.
Also, but don't you think that she has the best chance to get in only because she's black, she's a female. So now you've got two. The fact that she's female is the big one because Hillary opened the door for this one. But now the fact that she's a female, but the fact that she's black now, not so big anymore
She was always
because of
black.
Obama.
She was born black, dude.
Right, but the fact that she's black isn't so much a big a deal because of Obama. He broke that down. So now who cares if we have another black president? That doesn't mean anything.
I think
But the fact that she's a woman and she's black and she's Oprah, right there.
And
man.
don't forget
Boom.
about they want Michelle Obama as vice president, which is like two people with absolutely no experience
I
in
think that's a
anything
death
having
knell.
to do with it.
They're so early with this out of the gate. It's gonna fuck them. They do not know
Exactly.
strategy.
Listen.
If they would have waited till 14 months before the next one, maybe.
Exactly.
Right now, when you
'cause they still
fucking
have the
push,
midterm elections to go.
They
and
have
figure
learned
out. They haven't
nothing.
even pushed that.
they have learned nothing from Roman Reigns' push. They fucking have learned nothing.
Exactly.
And they won't learn
And all
after
I can hope
January,
for,
after
and
the
all I
Royal
can really,
Rumble.
really hope is that Kiefer Sutherland designated survivor gimmick is real.
Yeah, a lot.
That's all I can hope for.
Let's wrap it up, guys, because I think Twitch is going to cut us here in just a little bit. We're already on our overrun, so I don't want to lose any show here. But hey, I really do implore you guys, check out Jerome Corsi, QAnon. If you just put that into YouTube, check that out every day in the next week. Jerome Corsi, InfoWars reporter, ex-CIA, really doing the great breakdown. Also check out that Twitter I said earlier, at B754-34425. Those seem to
Bingo.
be the two hottest sources. That's right. Bingo's his name. And that's going to keep you up on the QAnon stuff as things are happening so fast in real time. I saw we might give a nosebleed, get some color on North Korea. Should be interesting week, you guys, coming up. And definitely keep that alien shit in the forefront because that's more important than any of these fucking greedy cocksuckers who all got to fall at the end of the day. So we appreciate you guys tuning in to another Conspiracy Horseman. Stevie, what's going on, man?
Well, we got Stevie Richards Fitness, the 12-week resistance band training program. Already testimonials pouring in. Demetrius from Dippin' Donuts, which is, I think losing 5 pounds when you own a donut place is pretty impressive. And then the big one right now is Ray, Papadon's best friend, dropping 10 pounds in a week. And, the program's $15, but you get a lot of support. You get full email support from me. You get the Facebook group, which Demetrius and all the people that purchased the program, including you, created the group. So it's not my group. The people who bought the program created the group. So it's a very closed group right now of people that support each other. There's going to be live content, Q&As, instruction, modification, and also I'm going to be doing some bonus content that you can add to the workout coming soon. So really cool stuff. Also, I'm heading out to Force USA, Salt Lake City on Monday to have the company meeting with them. That's where I have my home gym, so I do some work with them. So if you're interested in a home gym, put in Stevie 5 on checkout, and you'll get 5% off any order. So, and I'm going to put some content out for that soon. And I'm recovering. The fog is clearing, guys. I feel good. This was good for me.
Endorphin.
Are you going to watch Impact?
As JR would say, I'm going to make it, boys. I'm going to make it.
Hey, I'm requesting a little live workout for some love handles. That's my target area. I did the chest workout today. I feel pretty swole. Arms and shoulders were awesome as well, but that's where I got to lose it in my lower midsection. That's where I carry most of my weight, so that's my request.
So by the way, the mic's a keeper.
Mic is kick-ass, man. The Darth Vader mic is over.
When he said it's a lightsaber, that put it over the top. Someone put that over.
Yeah.
But just in closing, I'm really humbled by everybody who has supported the program and the interaction, and you guys have helped me focus on something that's working for people and be able to do that. And I have a tendency to kind of be try to put a bunch of stuff in things. What's that? Wow. Fuck off. I have a tendency not to be, bald with a red forehead and chiclet fingernails. But other than that,
what do you mean red forehead? What do you mean red forehead and chiclet fingernails?
Papa John, what were you doing?
His forehead's red. He's leaning into the camera and he's saying, "What forehead is red?" That one.
It's not red.
No, did you not see? Papa Don was doing the Aleister Crowley fucking.
Thank you.
Pose.
At least you picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing, brother?"
Just fucking around.
I'm trying to be heartfelt and everything, and all he's doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm. You said you're doing a promo, and I'm going, okay, he's reaching out, and I'm like, what am I missing? And then I look at Papa Don, he's doing the fucking Crowley, and I'm going, what the hell's happening?
It's a conspiracy within a conspiracy within a conspiracy, just to pop you. Anyway, go on, Steve.
Hey, I guess I'm done.
Yeah. Hey, did you beat Jade Spade or no?
No, I didn't. I did all the favorite hits that everything but a dive. Rip Rogers would be proud. There's actually psychology in there, and Billy Gunn came in and gave me the famouser, which he's always a pleasure to be around.
Super nice guy.
Wait, Billy Gunn was in your Jade Spade match?
He was.
Wow.
So
no.
So was Bob
Jade Spade and Stevie were in the Billy Gunn match. Get it right, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's going to be a big four-way WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. So
awesome. So check out Wildcat.
Don't get too fucking excited about it. Wow. Calm down, everybody.
Wow. Big Sally Balls. What do you got going on?
Billy Gunn's in the match.
I'm trying to process this. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to be processing Stevie's match. So, you and Jade Spade had a match, and you did a hardcore match, right? Because was it the last fight or one more
Correct.
fight? Or what? Okay. So you guys did
a street fight, like Danny Cage.
Street fight.
Like a street fight.
Okay, it was like Danny Cage's, but there was two actual wrestlers in it. So
with talent.
Yeah, it was.
And bodies.
And body. Well, I don't know who his student was, so his student might be over. But so yeah, you guys had gear and everything. I saw the video. It's pretty good. And then you guys walked around. You did like a lot of big cookie tin spots. Is that what you're doing?
I guess. I mean, you have a little more.
I'm asking.
A little more. No, we did the A boop. The A boop
Don't
punches.
get mad. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to get your match over.
Oh, thanks. It's already happened.
Billy Gunn got the match over.
I don't know
bro.
what we could do. I don't know what we can do at this point.
For perpetuity's sakes.
I know what you're trying to hit at with Billy Gunn's interference.
For antiquity.
Yeah,
he is one of the most popular people in antiquity.
Sally, what do you got going on, man?
He didn't have the vape thing. He didn't have the vape with him when he came out. I was expecting it. Like when he famously was in his left hand.
I'm about to cut it off. I know this guy's got about 58s to get in right here. Brother. His head's turning super red. Go for it.
I'm laughing here, dude. My plugs. Fuck my plugs. Who cares?
I do. I care where you are.
Fuck my blood. That's a shirt.
This Friday, I'm at BCW in Queens, the Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard. Next week, I'm in Florida for Full Throttle Pro Wrestling. And the end of the month, I'll be at NYWC. So that's that for January. Then I got some stuff coming up for February. February, I'll be at JAP on the 24th. I'll be at Ronin on the 17th.
Are you really giving a fucking February schedule?
Well, yeah, why not? It's only 28 days.
Christmas.
Oh, by the way, big shout out to James Hunter, who's a referee down in the Mid-Atlantic area. he threw a post on Facebook saying, I need wrestlers, 2 workers to come do a tour in Puerto Rico on February 29th to the 31st. You'll make decent money, but get great exposure. I wrote pop, because obviously, Stevie, there is no February 29th to the 31st because it's not a leap year. And boom, he said he got bombarded with emails from the boys. So shout out to James Hunter.
Shout out.
And Chris Envy, I'm not drunk, you fool. You said February 3rd, not 24th, you prick. Now I'm going to miss the show.
Well, I'll bring Assad back in, man, but we'll defend. There's no doubt about that.
I'll team with you.
Yeah, say come on up, 24th. I'll put it over to Envy. I mean, old Redhead isn't going to make it, and there's not enough plugs for him to get in that time.
He's fucking his blood. He doesn't have any time for this.
Not red, guys. Just a freaking light. Calm down.
Amazing Red Part 2. I'm going to be at Upstate.
Is it red taller?
Yeah. And over. I'm going to be at Upstate.
You cut my pitch off now. What are you doing at those cities, by the way? What are you going to do at those cities when you get there?
What cities?
The streets you gave. What are you going to do?
It's all street fights.
It's all street fights.
What are you talking about? The shows?
You're traveling to different cities. What are you going to do when you get there?
Show up, go to the show, wrestle.
Oh, there you go.
that
It's
part.
a wrestling show.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll be doing a little wrestling myself because
maybe hopefully
you
get a Billy Gunn
get
running
nothing.
on my match. I don't know.
not that old.
Yeah.
Look out for the babe.
Upstate Pro Wrestling this Saturday, Rochester, where the child molesters are. That's right, infidels. Opening Ha 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 Mean for the honky tonk man. All 3 of you
Why
owe
you
me a
stuttering?
bit. All 3 of you owe me a bit, you morons, for this shitty go home. So, y'all, I'm not even going to announce our February dates because they're always changing in your face, Chris Envy, you stupid moron. And all of you out there, get on the QAnon and UFO tip and check out the Infinite Fringe with Jan Brady from MUFON this week at hackerhameen.podbean.com. Download The Russo Show with BWO Stevie and Hacker Hameen, Russo and Jeff Lane. Ha 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 mean. And this has been your Conspiracy Horseman, officially on twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman.
Marsha.
That's right, infidels. Martians. It's UFOs. Hacker Hameen taking it home strong, and no one will ever defeat me. YOLO.